Black, what up? Say it was good. We on for a quick late night. We on for around 10:30. Peace, everybody. Peace, 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 peace. What's good? What's good? You know we come here for a special gathering all the time. Grand Rising. Final countdown. What up, man? June, Salium, Salio. You on here? Uh, Bonsoir, Alphonse. What's good? Bonsoir. Mm, love and peace. Guani Rouge. Love and peace. What up, folks? How y'all doing tonight? How's the family, man? You know, Sunday is rest day. You know, so say what's up to the family for me, the kids, hubby, wifey, mother, father, grandpa, grandmother, whoever you are, friends, whatever it is, man. Phoenix, appreciate you. We're gonna have a very good little debate. Ayana, what up, baby? What's good? So, I'm gonna also open the panel a bit early. So if you do have some questions, I'll be able to do that. So we're not gonna pass 11. We're gonna be at 10:30. We'll flatten the line. Chess, what up, baby? What's good? And we'll go through that. So divine honors to everybody. So as you get here, you tap the screen and you bring the prosperity energy in. Okay. So before I jump start, tomorrow we on the first week and it's the first Monday of the month. I actually, that's 2 week pass. We didn't have ritual night because I was going through some changes, allergy season. It usually take a toll on my body, and also I was dealing with some spiritual work. So I didn't do anything as far as last week, so I'm fully charged and I'm feeling much better. So tomorrow at 8 o'clock we're gonna have ritual night, and the ritual is money. It's a money ritual because the month of May, it's Labor Month. It's a month of prosperity. It's a month of hard working. So we're gonna have that. So if you were participate 2 weeks ago, and a ritual night is the same setup. The only difference is you're gonna need to bring $7 with you. You need $7 bill for a ritual. So you're gonna write down what you want inside. I mean, in the $7 bill. So everybody, anybody, I'm gonna write the requirement tonight for all my Patreon members. If you're a member, you'll be participating in that easily. If you're not a member, join us, and so be a part of that powerful ritual. We dealing with prosperity, so it's gonna be a money ritual tomorrow. So what you're gonna need is you already have it. Okay, you still need the same setup we did for the fire ritual last time. It's the same setup. Okay, a rock, uh, um, a metallic bucket, a rock. You need Florida water. You need Pompeii, Florida water, 4 candles, 4 red candles, and you need 3 cups of water, and you need a bell. Okay, so I'm gonna see y'all tomorrow. Okay, so it's gonna be at 8 o'clock. Patreon member, I will be able to send you guys the link. I'm talking about for us. It's a Zoom, so I will send you guys every member gonna get that Zoom link so to participate on it tomorrow. So stay alert. It's gonna be dope and popping, and it's a hell of it because it's the first Monday of the month. It's always powerful to have to start your month with a spiritual setup. So I'm gonna definitely be there tomorrow. So you need to be there too. So I'm gonna catch y'all tomorrow for that. So shout out to everybody and divine honors to all my brothers and sisters in this special gathering. Every time we come together, we do something special and we talks. And it's not me that I allow myself to be, used by the ancestors. So my vocal cord is just a vessel for them to speak life and speak truth. And for some, it's not going to be truth, but also it's going to be a source of inspiration. And also for people out there that, probably uneasy with me, but at least you will learn something today. So people that, whatever I'm doing today or whatever I ever do every single time I'm doing this, I'm open opportunities for all sides of things. It's possibilities, it's making you think, and also remember making you a member again from these knowledges. So again, what's good? So Laba D53, what up, brother? What's good, man? Miss Operator was good. So Tonight, the topics for the night. Let's see what time it is. It's 8:32. We're gonna jumpstart the ship at 8:40. My young brother Imperium descendant. What up, big homie? What's good? We're gonna jumpstart the show at 8:40. So, for now, you know what to do. As you came here, rep your city, rep your clan, and what's good, okay? So roll calls out here and everybody in the mainland. Shout out to everybody in the mainland. Special shout out to everybody in the southern part of America. I love all of y'all, but you know the southern is something special down here. Okay, so it's the heartbeat of America. So I gotta always send shout out because this is where all the wars been fought to free our people to make sure that we have a sovereign state where we don't have illegal activities as far as human trafficking. Our ancestors were the one fighting to end human trafficking in the world. So that's why my heart always goes out to the southern part of America and including the entire continent as a whole because we were the indigenous ancestors, the indigenous army fighting to put an end, but nevertheless, the southern part is where most of the war was happening. So kudos to the southern part of America, man. And also shout out to the Americas, shout out to the world, shout out to the entire globe. Let's jump to the vote call and see where my people's repping from right now, okay? Let's see. All right, we already got the world, man. Kojo already repping the world from Ghana, man. Shout out to Ghana, Africa in the building. And a special shout out to Ibrahim Traore. May the ancestors and the Most High protect them and let other African nations just take heed and know what it needs to be done for the next generation because he's a young leader. So protect Mali, protect Niger, and protect Burkina Faso and every other young African leaders that were willing to do what needs to be done. And you know, I'm all for that because again, we have an empire in the past, and the empire reach out to the globe. We have a global civilization. We were what we call a global citizens. So it would always been an honor and a beautiful thing to see the world become one again, where the world no longer have borders, the world no longer have boundary, the world no longer have skin tone. We only see each other as a human having an experience and we have so much to learn from one another. We have so much to enjoy from each other. We are a fruits of this planet, and we are here temporarily. Nothing in this world is forever. So you can only imagine with this little temporary timeline how much we can enjoy from one another, man. Because life is promised. One thing is transition. We will transition out of here. So while we are here, let's just make the best out of it. That's what you would have think. That's what you would have thought. And I know some brothers and sisters out here we still stuck a certain level of consciousness, which is still a part of it. Some conversation need to be said, but when it come down to me, I cannot bank and using my time talking about how other people don't deserve to this or I'm better than I'm an Imperium children. I mean, my ancestor have an empire here, and if you know what an empire mean, it means the entire continent, and it means many other parts of the world operates as one. So therefore, if you know what the consciousness of the empire is, there's no way you're gonna point fingers at other people just to disrespect other people or to make you think they're not a part of nothing because you're trying to make yourself feel like you're more than them. I can never partake in such of ideology because an imperium, that's what an imperium was. We all was under a beautiful and an advanced civilization and the best mind all over the world because geniuses come from all walks of life and they are born from every other parts of the world. So an empire, that's why we have such a beautiful civilization because every geniuses of the world they usually come from many parts and develop these places that need to be developed. Not tribalism where we hate on each other, where we hide each other's knowledge, where we hide from each other's way to help one another. Not like that. I'm not a part of that, and I don't want to be a part of no savagery because my ancestors, man, listen, we come from the fabric of the best things of life. So you can only imagine, okay? All right, so with that being said, okay, let me keep on moving out here with the roll call. Let me bring it back. Let's see what we got. We got JR from San Diego. Shout out to the West Coast out here, San Diego, California. What up, LA? Shout out to San Diego, man. Okay, so we got Chicago, Jordan from Chicago right here, the Midwest. So one in the West Coast, one in the Midwest. Was good. Okay, let's see what we got. Man, we got one from the Caribbean cavemen out here from Guyana. What up, Guyana? Was good. Okay, let's see what we got here, man. Spencer, what up, pimpin'? Man, we got another African brothers in the building from Nigeria in the building. What up, Nigeria? Ashaki, I don't know, let me say the name right. Ashad Kimani in the building from Nigeria, man. Let's see what we got. Another Florida. We got Florida in the building, okay? So listen now, it's all even. We got North Carolina out here, Fayetteville in the building. North Carolina. Shout out to South Carolina too. Okay? Let's see what we got in the building. We got Jacksonville, another down south in the building. Shout out to Jacksonville. Okay, let's see what we got. This is all even right now. Atlantic City finally got somebody from Jersey. Ski, what up, Pippin? Okay, so up north is just repping right now. Kansas City. What out to Kansas City, Missouri in the building. Shout out to Mo, man. Kansas City was good. Let's see what we got here. Joe Lulu's in the building. What up, Lulu's? Was good. Okay, Empress Jesse, my beautiful sister, man. Listen, Empress Jesse and I, listen, we way back, okay? As family members out here, way, way, way back. So, Jesse, what up, sis? Let's see what we got here, man. We taking it back, man. We got two official from New York repping. Okay, we got in New York. We got two folks out here, and then we got Maurice from Philly. Philly, what up, pimpin'? I'm trying to tell you, up north is taking the lead just like that. We got another Chicago right here. We got Louisiana. The South is just even. We got Ohio, second in command from Louisiana. Shout out to you, Queen Fatima. Ohio was good. Okay. And we got Cena from Ghana, man. Africa's repping hard today. We got a trio. We got three people from Africa popping. So we got Haitian Taino from Boston. What up, Boston? Okay, we got Dallas. Hi, Einerg from Dallas. Let's see. Dallas, I'm telling you, the South is coming strong. Kansas, Harry Jones from Kansas. Man, two Kansas City folks out here in the building. We got Amord from Florida. What's good? Okay. Barb's, what up, baby? Qu'ils ont eu? Bonsoir, sir. We got let's see what we got. We got three places in the tiebreaker right now. I mean, let's see what time. Oh, it's just 8:40. So Cali repping, man. We got tiebreaker, okay? We definitely have the South and up north. So up north and the South have a tiebreaker. So it's all balanced for the night. So shout out to all my brothers and sisters. Let's just jumpstart the ship. 8:40, we hit the bargain, and let's make it happen. Okay, so what we came here tonight, we came here to talk about. I do get a couple folks reach out to me. They just try to get the difference. What is the difference between hoodoo and voodoo? Okay, so we're gonna have a good little discussion. Talk about voodoo spirituality. Oh, the modern day interface, how the process do really happen, and what is the difference between hoodoo and voodoo? Because I've seen bigotry out there. I even seen people try to make it seem that one is better than the other, or you even have people out there try to make it seem that one is theirs and the other one is others. It's just to show you this is the time we are in. We're in a time of great division, great divide. But one thing about me, I'm gonna tell the truth. Truth is just truth. It doesn't. I mean, listen. Some people gonna like it, some not gonna like it. But when it come down to truth, I'm gonna tell it like it is. Cause truth doesn't have to have feelings or fanatics. It's just only but the truth. But for what I've seen some bigotries out there because that's the time we are in. People are gonna find ways to trigger people or to try to make people feel some type of way. And everybody doesn't know who they are. The whole FBA situation. You have a lot of cowards hiding behind the keyboards and calling people names, disrespecting people. And listen now, I have no problem with intellectual conversation. That's one thing to say, to tell the truth. And there's many truth out there that I'm not gonna I'm not even gonna get involved with certain truth because they are truth. For an example, hip hop. Everybody know hip hop is indigenous American that created. So it actually came from the mainland. You don't need to. Yeah, I don't need to get involved to try to make it seem it was not. That is true. It's a fact. You don't need to argue with that. Another thing, we all knew that we always been here. We did not come from other places, other continent. That is a fact. So again, these are truth that's not going to be compromised for anything. But one thing you're not going to find me doing, I'm not going to disrespect people. I'm not going to call people name. I'm not going to try to draw a contrast to dehumanize people just to try to prove your point or you trying to get your point across. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to just tell the truth, but still respect each other, still respect people, still respect anybody because that's me. That's my way of doing. But I've do seen other people out there, they trying to insult people just because they feel like that's what's make them or they feel they get an edge and all of that, man. Because I'm kind of like, I'm not saying I'm different. I just feel like I'm mature. Okay, my level of spiritual maturity, my maturity actually make me overstand, understand, and understand the process of existence. Because the people that you disrespect or the people that you feel you better than, it's not even their choices to chose the life they have. And I really hate seeing people trying to, prove their point by trying to, use contrast in people's lifestyle, like to say that your place is poor, to say that you come from a poor background. And that to me is very immature because nobody, if everyone have an opportunity or the choice to choose who they want to live or what lifestyle they want to have, everybody will want to be rich. So again, no one chose where you were born. No one chose what family you happen to be born with. So therefore, if you happen to be born to whatever background, whatever culture, just make the best out of it. And you're never going to find me calling you name just because you were unfortunate to be born to a place that is impoverished, where I'm going to use her impoverished to disrespect you. I think this is very cowardice. It's a very coward way, and it's also proven your level of maturity. If you are a spiritual person, you should know that whoever you disrespect, it's most likely going to be your next incarnation. So that's how the universe works. The more energy you put to disrespect people, that means that's the amount of energy that you project to the matrix. It's only mean the universe is going to use that against you. So therefore, you most likely, that's why they tell you, whoever you hate, you will be born within those that you hate. And that's what I've seen out around. And I'm laughing because people don't get that knowledge. It's a simple way of seeing the existence, because everything you hate, the universe is going to force you to master what you hate. Because what you hate is it called misunderstood. Because men hate what they don't understand. So I just want to say that because I do see bigotry a whole lot, and I don't want to entertain that. That's one thing for people to just try to understand, overstand what you're saying, but using the person disadvantage as far as things that they can't control. Because people born into an impoverished nation, no one controls that. You just happen to see you were born to that. And that is your journey. That is your journey to build yourself. That is your journey to become a better person. Or that is your journey to try to find solution. But for other people that were born to a more privileged lifestyle, your job is not to make to remind a person that unfortunately having less than you, that doesn't make you stronger or better. It's only make you weaker because it shows that you don't understand what's happening. If you do understand what happened, then you will definitely not using that to pass your knowledge across. Whatever point you have, you can still prove it without disrespecting or without making people feel like they are lesser than you based on their conditioning of life. So that's what I got to say about that. Okay, and somebody said the live is frozen. Are we good? Are we good? Are we good? We good? We good, right? Okay. All right. Now, what is voodoo and what is hoodoo? Now, for people that don't get it, now the first thing you need to know, the term hoodoo and the term voodoo, they are the same as far as identifies, but there's a culture shift that happens. I want to be clear about that. When hoodoo was introduced in here in the States, and when voodoo was also when people want to say introduced. Now, to be clear about the situation, I want to explain this to you. This was always the culture of our people. What they call voodoo, it's the outsiders, pretty much. When invaders get here, when these invaders got here, they identify what they seen as voodoo, okay? And also, when you said that, and it get anglicized. It's anglicized, man. The second person said it's frozen. Let me say this one more time. Is this really frozen or people playing with me now? Let me find out, like, because some people trying to disrupt this conversation by saying that. Okay, so it's not. So whoever said keep saying that, bro, just know, man, you trying to disrupt the conversation right now, my G. Let me just say that, because sometimes it's on your side, and that's probably what's happening, and it's not really happening on my side. So just try to fix the internet, my G. Anyway, like I was saying, when it come down to the names, we must understand those names is not a name that's natural to us. It was a name that was given after, okay, before that. The original name is Zemi. That's where you get in Creole Zemi, Zemi, Zami. Zemi mean the spirit, and Zami mean friend, family. So this is family we call it. Now in voodoo, what we call ancestors, family. Okay, so when you said Zemi Yaya, that's the original name. Yaya mean the mother nature, the creation. That's why voodoo is just based on nature. Okay, so like I said, the term voodoo is how we identify it. But in the ancient time, when his original name is Zemi, okay, we call the Zemi Yaya spirits, and that's why we always call our grandparents Yaya. We always call our grandmothers Yaya. This is how we usually do it, and that's what it's all about. So when we said Zemi Yaya, we call in the spirit of our great parents, and that's what it's all about. So today, they use the term voodoo. Voodoo is introduced because of outside, sources, outside references. And also voodoo pretty much mean the vo mean the worth, do mean obedience. So again, this is all the process of different groups, because when these outsiders come here, even though some of them are our own children coming back, especially the French, when you said the French is us. These are our ancestors that come back from Europe from captivities, and they call them French. And French mean free. These were the free people that come back home, and they label them as freemans, if you use the English term, and they call them the Francs, the Franc. Okay, pretty much the real one and the free one. So that's what it is. So when you see the word French, these are our ancestors that come back home, and also they come back with an accent, and that accent is Latin. And when they speak what you call French today, French is Creole with a Latin accent infusion, because they've been stuck in Europe in captivity for hundreds of years. So when they come back here with an accent, and that's what you call that accent today. You call it French, but eventually it's not French, it's Creole, but they have an accent today, and that's how we identify. Because again, all of these terms, as you call people French, as you call the language French, all of it was introduced after the empire fall, meaning the Reconstruction era. Within the Reconstruction era, you have a new terms, new ideology, new vocabulary, new language as far as to identify things. They were trying to flip and reconstruct absolutely everything. And that's why we end up having the world the way it is for now. And we, as the next generation, try to figure the whole shit out, because again, we suffer from this indoctrination, and we trying to put all the pieces together to try to unravel that truth that they buried in the past. So when you get to deal with those two fractions, they are not different. The difference between hoodoo and the difference between voodoo is not a difference at all, but it's a cautionary action. Let me say it again. What you call the only difference between those two is a cautionary action. So now let me explain. Let me stick to it. Now let's talk about hoodoo. Now you see the word hoodoo is only applied mostly here in the mainland. That means people here in America, specifically Southerners, people from the South. Okay. Now, people from the South, it's mostly like, every area that used to speak Creole. Now, let me do it again. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So you know who were practicing hoodoo. Okay, let me bring it back for you. Give me 1 second. Let me try to bring this picture. Let me try to show you who was using. Okay, now hoodoo, the brown spot, all of these areas, this is where hoodoo been practiced. This is the only areas that you find the majority of these practitioners. This is where the most of these practitioners was involved with, in the Browns area. Now, the only thing that you notice within these brown areas, every areas that is in the color of brown, they all speak Creole. So once again, they all speaks Creole because that's the language of the indigenous people. We speak Creole. Creole is originally from us, is originally from America, and Creole is a Pelagian language. That means it's been dated 5,000 years ago. And also, this is the only language in the world that have language analogy cross references. That means every language in the world, you will have a Creole term apply in it. Some way, somehow, anybody can use a language. You will most likely find the Creole word inside of these languages because that is the mother tongue, and this is the language that creates every other language of you call commercial language of today. So now, so you understand that part before we even proceed further. So now, like I was saying, all of these areas where they practice hoodoo. Now, in the States, they call it hoodoo, but in its original form, it's called Zemi. And passed down the line, they call it voodoo. But after the empire fall, okay, after the empire fall, exactly, paleo, after the empire fall, people need to know this is when all the changes start to happen. Okay, now somebody said, who spoke Hebrew? Now let me say this for you. The term Hebrew, this is what they identify it of today. Just like the power that be, or the people in charge of today, the people that control the information, the people that control your education, they are the one telling you it's called Hebrew. That's what you call playing a game to hide the truth from you. They all rename it or rebrand it. Okay, the people that call it Hebrew don't even know what they are saying because it's Creole. Okay, it's a Creole word. It's the same way with paleo. It's a Creole word, but the power that be, they understand they how to play a game of chess and a game of manipulation because they don't want you to know who you are. So it's the same way they trying to hide your identity, the same way they tell you you're not from here. That's the same thing they got to not letting you know about your language. Remember, Creole was outlawed in the States. Matter of fact, if they catch you speaking Creole, you can go to jail for that. If they catch you speaking Creole in school, you get punished. If they keep catching you speaking Creole in school, you got expelled. Did you understand? So this is the length and the measure they took to outlaw this language on the mainland. So they were not playing with you. So these are the same people today that told you that either the natives, the indigenous, not the native, the indigenous people were speaking Paleo Hebrew. Now let me say this again. They're not gonna tell you straight to your face they were speaking Creole. They rebranded and they giving you a new brand, a new name. They said Paleo Hebrew. So now once you hear the term Paleo Hebrew, you automatically think this ain't got nothing to do with you. But that's the point. The point is to do that. To make you see everything about you is not from you. Because if you couldn't identify what's yours, then you forever trap in their matrix. And the matrix is that they don't allow you to know that that's your lane. They don't want you to know that's your shit. Okay, so it's all part of it. And language is the number one thing because through language, you have access to your ancestors, you have access to the land, you have high archives of frequencies around you. Because if you speak the native language, then the language can evoke frequencies around you, and it evoke also open what you call subconscious. There's a lot of things that is dormant inside of you right now. You have a whole lot of shit dormant within you But the reason why they're not active is because you're not speaking the native language. And that's why they were outlawed and they were persecuting you from doing so, because those people know. Listen, the most important thing in life is resonance, which is sound. Right now, you're making sound. And the reason why you're alive is because your heart is it's producing sound. We are living sounds. And when you speak, you are making sounds. And a lot of things into the universe or to the ecosystem is all somehow related. And the reason why you saw so many things going wrong against us is because we're not speaking our native language. And our language can evoke so many things around you because it's sound. Certain sound resonance, when they echo back to other things, they create a whole different fields of energies. And that's why they were some people were getting jailed if you speak Creole. So that's why our grandparents, specifically here in the mainland, they don't want to teach it to their children because they went through a trauma. They went to a persecution. Some of them, some people got lynched over that. You have no idea the fear factor that a lot of our grandparents in that timeline went through to not speaking this language, to not even passing it down to their kids because they don't want that trauma to follow their children. Now ask yourself, why would they go that level to try to do this over a language? Not other that Creole. They do this against Creole, bro, because they know who you are. They know what that language is. So they outlaw it. So this is when somebody said, well, they told you the indigenous were speaking Paleo Hebrew. It was Creole, my friend. The Paleo Hebrew is the modern day repackaging system. They repackage it and give it to you otherwise. But the truth is, what they call Paleo Hebrew, it's a Creole word in the first place. This is the funny thing. The people that tell you about they call it Paleo Hebrew, they don't even know what they are calling it. It's a Creole in nature. It's a Creole word. Paleo mean the language. Hebrew mean your drink. Okay, so it's just so funny because even that's what you call when Mother Nature trying to preserve itself. And when men think they're gonna manipulate things, when men think they are bigger or stronger or they are more than Mother Nature. And Mother Nature always have the last laugh because the power that be think they're gonna repackage the story, manipulate the story to give it to you in their likeness, thinking they're gonna play you even generation later, those same people that bring that shit to you, they don't even know what they are saying in the first place. And matter of fact, what's so funny, what they call it is your shit in the first place, and they don't even know it. They tell you paleo if they call a member. It's so funny that is for people that still, because I know I still get some people out there. They don't like the fact that the ancestors use me to tell the truth. They use me to decipher the truth because that's the world we lived in. People just have problem with the messengers. They don't see, instead of having problem with the knowledge, they just have the problem with the messenger because they don't care about what's coming out. They care about me delivered the message. So now here's the funny thing. This is when you know you can put the whole truth together for yourself. You don't even if you don't believe me. Now how coincidental is this to call something, right? You're gonna call it. You're gonna call it a language, right? Now, how are you going to call it a language? You call the language Paleo Hebrew. Now make it make sense. How come you call it Paleo and Paleo in Creole mean Paleo mean language? This is like, this is straight to your face. It's obvious. This shit is just right to your face and it's right there. Paleo mean the language and Hebrew is your drink. So I don't even need to argue with people because what they said, that's what it is. And if you still think I'm making this shit up, you go everywhere in America, not only in the mainland, you go to Brazil, in the Amazon, the biggest Amazon in the world. People are speaking Creole. You go to Peru, where you have the mother Yenga. The mother Yenga is the one with the original crown that actually have the dynasties where you get Kings Philip, all the dynasty, they were speaking Creole in Peru. Now make this shit make sense. Now, this is what I'm telling people. They have people right there in the Amazon, people they want to call today natives. They themselves speaking Creole. So you think I'm making the shit up? No, I'm not. And you're gonna find people think like, oh, most of these places there was no French people there. They were never colonized by France. So how the fuck they all speaking Creole when they never been colonized by France? But they still gonna try to find a way to lie because the truth is like it's in their faces. That's the point. And I done show you that. Yeah, I mean, the whole South America, Belize, okay? Belize, Salvador, all of these places, that was the indigenous language. I'm not making this shit up. I bring facts. But anyway, get back to the hoodoo. Like I was saying, all of these territories, specifically the battle states, as you notice, this is where these are the battle states. These were all the states. This is the areas that most of the wars in America have been conducted. Whether you call it the Civil War, you call it the Alamo War. Listen, you name it. These are all the region that was speaking Creole before they want to outlaw it. Now, when voodoo is always, like I said, it's another term that the modern day term of identify what we use in the regular as zemi. Well, after the empire fall, this is when you call the system of Jim Crow. This is when now the process of reintroducing the into what we call the spirituality about our ways start to change. Now let me blow this picture up a little bit so you can see because I'm gonna explain the two. So now let's stick around with hoodoo. This is for the hoodoo folks out here. Now understand, hoodoo have nothing to do with what you think it is. Hoodoo is not. It's not like you can say, "Oh, hoodoo is better," because I've seen bigotry and people trying to make it seem hoodoo stronger. You have people say voodoo is stronger. I laugh because again, that's the thing. We are in a time of great divide, and that they're gonna have these little maggots out there causing divisions. Anything that can cause division and separation, they're gonna do it because the way they do it right now is like hoodoo is for people from the mainland and voodoo is Haitians. Okay, so it's like anything to separate people from the Caribbeans and anything to separate everybody, and everybody's only here in the mainland. That's us, and everybody else is you not one of us. The typical crap, the little separatist crap they are pushing right now, and these FBA is actually the orchestrator behind this nonsense. But anyway, now let me explain to you about this knowledge. Now, what you find in hoodoo is what we call a system. Now, like I said, they used to call it voodoo, but they call it hoodoo because it's a new mechanism of surviving. Now, the reason why everything changed is become it's what you call a mechanism of surviving because they were hunting our people. They were burning our people at the stake. They were hanging our people. Listen, we were getting persecuted. So therefore now they have to make a change. And these changing now is to make it more easier and the invaders, make the invader feel more safer. And now look at what you saw on the right. When you see when you heard about hoodoo, you start to see a lot of like jars and concoctions, herbs, stuff like that. So for that, it looked more like a pharmacy. It looked like a pharmacy way. When people go to a hoodoo place, it's a regular house, and when they get there, it looked like a pharmacy, but most likely look more like herb pharmacy, where these jar have things in there and all of that. And also, they have a Bible in there. So again, when the oppressor get here, the oppressor feel more comfortable because once they saw the Bible and once they saw the jars, they feel more like it's not as raw as it used to. So like I said before, it went from voodoo to hoodoo, but the term hoodoo was making it seems it's not violent, it's not the same. Matter of fact, you can accept it. You don't have nothing to worry about. It's not. It was a survival tactic. So our people have to adjust within the new system of what you call Jim Crow. Our people have to adjust within the new system they call the Reconstruction era. So voodoo got reconstructed. So since voodoo got reconstructed, it become what you call today hoodoo. Okay, and what you call hoodoo, it has nothing to do with what you think it is. It's not a byproduct of, oh, this FBA American Foundation American created this our shit. No, you don't know crap. You don't know nothing about nothing. Okay, so please stop the nonsense because you don't know shit. Okay? So this is what hoodoo was all about. Our people was trying to survive, so we make it more appealing to these invaders, to the new system they got implemented, so therefore we were playing safe. So in their eyes, it's more appealing for them, but we still maintain our raw ways. We still know what to do in a raw way. But it was just nothing but a facade to be more easier in the eyes of the oppressor. That's all it was. Okay? That's all it was. Somebody said Gregory Lee and said, "Are you leaning upon onto your own understanding, bro? I do this, okay? You don't do this. I do this for a living. I'm a priest, okay? I'm a generational priest. So you don't know what you are saying because your ideology behind what you think you're saying, you don't know what you're saying because you don't have family member that have been persecuted over this. A lot of y'all are internet followers. Y'all just want to join a trends over the internet, but none of y'all have true history behind the goddamn knowledge. So what I'm telling you is for what I know from family members and people that survive what happens in New Orleans. Okay? So what you call hoodoo today is none other than the refurbished versions of its original form just because our people were trying to survive. That's why they do this. It's not a separate practice. The original people know what they were doing. They just use it to make it easy on the oppressor. So when they pop the Bible, when they put the Bible in front of them, when we reciting these psalms, they think we reciting these psalms, but we know what spirit we about to call. We know what spirit we about to call. This was a tactical way to survive the oppression and the attack our people was going through at that time. So if you just learn that, keep that with you. It have nothing to do with what you think as a a separate practice. They are not separate practice. For people of today might feel like it's a separate practice because they don't know the truth. But the whole head, the same persecution they were giving them over Creole, the same persecution to stop them from speaking Creole, that's what causes them to start doing shit like this. Because voodoo, you speak Creole. When you practice the voodoo in its full form, you call the spirit in Creole. The music is in Creole. They were persecuting our people over that in New Orleans. They were burning their places. So for that, we have to turn. We have to die it down. Now it become hoodoo. Instead of speaking Creole, we put the Bible, the English Bible, in front of them. So we speak English in front of them to make them think that we're not conjuring our indigenous ancestor with our native language, which is Creole. That's what it called hoodoo today. You just don't know that. A lot of y'all just join, clout, jumping upon stuff y'all don't even know nothing about. Because y'all just so eager to just make other people feel like they are lesser than you. That's why I don't respect none of y'all FBA. Because that movement is not based on truth. It's based on what we call low self-esteem problems. Like I said, y'all bully everybody else except the person that you want to be bullied. But no, you want a paycheck from him. Cowards. But anyway, let's just get to voodoo. You see the difference? One is more inside, the other one is more raw with nature. Hoodoo is most likely, like I said, is indoors in the house, and it's not that many, incantations. It's not that many ritual. It's mostly, herbs and psalm. They giving you a mojo bag. They giving you a jar. They told you, well, go home, do this. Oh, go do this, go do that. They do not call spirits. That's a difference. They do not call spirits. Because calling spirits, you will be persecuted over that. Call upon the spirit will get you lynched. So we have to mellow the shit down. That's the difference. One was raw and the other one was mellowed down to survive. Because it was what the Reconstruction era. It was what Jim Crow. Know the difference. That was when they were pushing the whole church shit. They were pushing that shit on our throat. Okay? The whole church and reverend. This is when now you find a bunch of our voodoo priests, a lot of our voodoo priests is converting. They got convert to what you call your reverend or your pastor because they themselves were afraid for their lives. They have to do something to survive. And they become pastors. That's why you find it's a bunch of freaking church in the South. Now you ever wonder how the hell you find so many church in our neighborhood? Still right now in America, you will find most of the black community, most of the indigenous community is mostly church. This is a psychological warfare. This is how our people survive in the past. We have to act like we calling upon Jesus. We become reverent to survive. If we do want to get help from the government, we have to do this. This is what they're not telling you. That's what they're not telling you. So when you talk about voodoo and hoodoo, there's nothing different about those two. It's just a lifestyle that has changed. It's only just an adjustment of a lifestyle. One of them was raw on his natural form before captivity, and the other one is within captivity, and we have to suppress ourselves of expressing our ways, and that's what you call hoodoo today. Nothing more, nothing less. One is to survive, the other one is in its real form. That's it. So when you see somebody today told you that they all practice hoodoo, you should ask them for what? Let me say it again. If somebody asks you they all practice hoodoo, ask them for what? Because you're not oppressed. Why trying to practice something that was used to hide when you can just be yourself to the fullest? Remember, at that time when our people use hoodoo, especially doing it that way with the Bible, with the little stuff, is because these folks that come to us, we have to create a persona. We have to have a facade so they don't know what we about to do. But when we get to our little space, when we get in our little secrecy, we don't do this shit. We call the real freaking thing. We put the veve on the floor. We call the real thing, and we speak the real language to call the ancestors. This was just so they can leave our ass alone, so they don't hang our people, so they don't lynch our people. That's what the setup was like that. But when they're not around, we do the real thing. Just know the difference. So this is why I'm just trying to remind you. When somebody trying to make you think hoodoo is the no. The only reason you can say hoodoo and voodoo is only for educational purposes only. That means I can explain to you why it was called hoodoo and why it was called voodoo, just to try to give you the history behind it. But when it come down to the hands-on, when it come down to the real thing, how to really do it, it's the same thing you call what today you call voodoo. There's no difference. Okay? So you know. So anybody that have a questions before I move in? Anybody with a question before I move on to the next topics? So I'm gonna take a couple questions before I move on. Anybody with a question? I'm gonna answer you before we move forward. Okay. Um, Mo- Mother Ro- Mother off 3. Can anybody learn it? Of course. I mean, anybody. Listen now. Let me say this for people. No one can stop somebody will. I don't understand where somebody said no. You are from a different background, you shouldn't practice it. And I laugh because the funny thing is, who the hell am I to stop somebody from doing what they want to do? You don't understand the way the universe works. The universe, it's a process of free will and also what we call the power of willingness. If I might be the person to say, no, not going to teach nobody that's not in my community. But guess what? It's me, though. That person I just said no to, that person having strong will. That person, like, I mean, by any means necessary, they feel like, yo, I'm gonna learn that shit. So he's gonna keep knocking on doors. So me, I shut down the door on them, but guess what? There's plenty others out there. Guess what? The universe gonna find a way to open a door or crack a window for that person. As long as that person have their willingness to do so or to persevere and to pursue what they want, nobody can stop that. And this is why I just try to remind people over that. People that play this little game, oh, that person don't come from that community. The only thing you should worry about that person, can you read that person's heart? Let me say this again. Can you read that person's heart? That's what it comes down to. It's not because the person comes from a different community. When that person comes to you, can you see, can you feel, can you decipher that person's frequency? Can you feel if this information gonna actually help that person, and can that person also help that community? That's what it should be. But unfortunately for us, most of us, we don't care. Everybody worry about their dollars. Everybody worry about their pockets. They don't really read each other's essence because they don't even know. A lot of our ancestors, they come back. They don't come back in their body. They come back in different community body. They come back in a whitey body. They stupid. So you really think some of our ancestors, they got hung and lynched? You think if they have a choice to come back to this world to look after their family, they're gonna come back to their body? No. That's the power of a soul. You have the ability to choose where you incarnated yourself. And that's why I be laughing with a lot of people because you've been supposed to identify your ancestors to different form. That's spirituality. You've been supposed to have the eye, the first eye that can identify your ancestors within different bodies. This body is a freaking vehicle. And voodoo teach you that shit. And voodoo, we use different vessels. Why you think people shapeshift? How you think we transfer our consciousness into cat? So you think we have the ability to transfer our consciousness to a cat, to a dog, to a hawk, to a freaking griffin, to even multi-dimensional being, and then you think that whitey people is somehow different than that? You think they are somehow different? So if we can change avatar, what's so different with them? That's the ironies of shit. Prove to you, whoever thinks like that don't know shit about the craft. They far from it. Listen, you have spirit that actually hide in rocks. You have spirit that lives inside of freaking rocks, let alone worry about humans. So you think if a spirit can use a rock to transfer its frequency into, you think inhabit the whitey body is so far beyond or is so as a, oh my God, are you serious? You just have no idea, bro. Our problem is because we not in the capacity to really understand, overstand, understand physiology or this human experience. Our goal is to see through that person and see if this knowledge is going to benefit that person and also benefit that community. That's all it should be. Not looking at that person's skin tone, looking at that person's essence. That is the truth. Because that same essence, a lot of us from our own community using that to destroy each other. That proves to you that skin shit don't mean a goddamn thing. It mean, do you really are the truth? Are you the one? Can you see beyond the flesh? That's all that shit's all about. So, let me say that part moving forward. So that was a question. I just answer you over that. I'm about to move forward. Let's see. What was the other questions? I'm going to take 3 questions before I move on. It's about to be an hour. Tap the screen. We need to reach out 100,000 so we don't have interruptions. Tap the screen. You know, it's about to be an hour on. Let's see. All right, let's see if I do have other questions. Somebody said, how do I use FBA lingo and disrespect FBA? Let me say this again. Just pay attention to what I'm saying. Let me bring this right back for you. Let me take this picture because you need to see me. Now ask yourself, what is the FBA lingo? I'm confused. Now let me talk for everybody that need to hear me though. Now there's a bunch of you cowards out there trying to make it seem when you said FBA is everybody in the mainland. No, 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 no. When you said foundational, let me tell you, foundational mean people that built this freaking continent, people that's been there. My ancestors, we have an empire. You know what an empire is? Because, see, let me tell y'all, this is the difference. When you said disrespect FBA, no, disrespect you. I'm not talking about my brothers and sisters in the mainland. You have a problem. That's the difference. Now, what is a lingo? What is the lingo? I'm confused. So, what lingo FBA that I'm picking? So, my style is indigenous. My hair, my style. So, tell me, this is what lingo I'm picking up. Last time I checked, I don't get it. What lingo? Y'all was slaves. Y'all was slave. My ancestors were emperor and empresses. We got the finest fabric and garment in the world. My ancestors was fly as shit. So what lingo that I'm picking from y'all? I'm confused. What lingo? Explain this shit to me. What lingo? It's funny, y'all just play this little game. Like y'all the owners of every what owners of what? My ancestors was always here. I have the proof for it. All the wars in America, my Haitian ancestors was in all of these wars. While you slaves was out there in captivity, my ancestors was fighting to get freaking invaders out of here. I don't get it. I mean, yo, listen, y'all know who to play with, man. Y'all not me. Y'all can play this game with me. Because I got facts upon facts. And I don't want people to feel, because I know the little game y'all want to play when y'all keep throwing the FBA thinking that y'all talk for every people in the mainland. No, 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 no. Y'all little maggots. That's the difference. My brothers and sisters, everybody from the brothers and sisters in the state, I'm not talking to y'all. I'm talking to I'm single out the cowards. Because it's funny how all of y'all, I'm talking about the cowards, point fingers at everybody else. But the people that y'all call everybody, oh, y'all flee. My people don't flee. My people build this goddamn place. My people fight and bled for this goddamn place. This is home for me. I have sigil that there's many other places in the state still named after my people. So I'm home. I don't know what you're talking about. They bring y'all from Africa. That's the difference. Y'all foreign. We indigenous. Know the difference. That's why I don't respect y'all. Y'all slaves. We are indigenous. Know the difference. Okay? And the lingo you talking about, this is indigenous lingo. So I don't get it. Okay? I don't get it. So know the difference. And keep that little game to yourselves. Because y'all have a self-esteem problem. I don't have that problem. I'm good. Okay? I'm good. So y'all gonna bring always point fingers at people, but the people that y'all need to point fingers at, y'all quiet. That's why I don't respect y'all. Y'all cowards. Y'all gonna disrespect people in the Caribbeans, calling people tethers, and the biggest tethers of all time is your master, and you dare to call his ass out. You a coward. That's why I don't respect y'all. Bring the same energy to them, but you won't do it. Because you a slave, and I get it. That's why I don't respect y'all. You will never call your slave master because you expect a check from your slave master. I get it. So my real people, the real indigenous Amaru's, we don't worry about y'all. Okay? So we not caring about anything you have to say because we are imperium children. We are global citizen. We not worry and feel threatened by other people because we've been global citizen. We've been all over the goddamn world. We don't have a self-esteem problem. We can coexist with everybody. Nobody's a threat to me. Okay? That's the difference between me and you. My ancestors were global, not in chain and begging for crumbs. Know the difference. So let's keep on moving. You don't want to go toe to toe with artifacts. A lot of y'all calling yourself FBA, I don't even have evidence to prove your existence in America. The only person you got it you rely on is your master. You expect master to forge artifacts, to forge evidence for you. That's the difference. I got all evidence to prove my birthrights in America. That's the difference. Anyway, let's move forward. Now, this is what a lot of people don't know. This is for the different community because I get that. I get that a whole lot. People call because there's a lot of videos out here, especially in New Orleans, and there's a lot of YT people that practice voodoo, and people send me video, and that's a bunch of video out there, and they're like, "Yo, man, they are stealing voodoo, man. Yo, what's going on, man? With YT people this and YT people that." Now, let me do this knowledge for y'all once again. Let me bring this knowledge and let me explain to y'all once again what happens in the past, because the past is it's way more. People will call it fictional, but the reality of the past is way much more complex than people think. Now, the term, let me say this, the term initiation. When you heard the word initiate, or they tell you somebody got initiate, YT people, specifically YT women, they were the first initiate to the practice. Let me say it one more time. YT women were the first. Matter of fact, the term initiation were designed for them. They were the first initiate to the practice. Okay? So this is not something that out of the ordinary when you saw them doing this. Matter of fact, this is why a different group were created. Let me say this one more time. I got to be careful and explain this to y'all because a lot of people don't get it. Once again, when our land were confiscated, when we got invaded, when our industry got take over. Remember, what is the industry? The industry was food. Agriculture was the industry of the past, okay? Now, what was the industry of the past? Maize, you call corn, sugar, sugar cane, cotton, coffee, tobacco, all of these things. This is what makes the empire. The empire were rich in food. So therefore, when they invade the empire, that's the first thing they did is invade the plantation. The plantation, every single time somebody heard the word plantation, they assume it's associate with us as far as being oppressed. No, we were the owners of these plantations. Let me say it again. The owners of these plantations was our ancestors. This was our land. We were the one cultivating our own shit. But since they take over, we got invade. They brought with them a workforce. The invaders brought a workforce with them. And the workforce was what they call contracting workers. And they call these contracting workers indentured servants. They bring a boatloads of them. Who was behind it? The Ottomans and the Brits. The Brits were the one bringing a loads of them, and the Ottoman were bringing another loads of them too. And then these territory, they bring them, and we were the one as captives. We call captivity prisoners of war, POWs. We were the one that teaching them how to cultivate the land. Okay, so they keep us in captivity to teach them, and the goal was from 2 to 3 years. That's what it takes for most of them to be comfortable with the land and to get rid of us. And guess what? Within those years, these women, they were known as not only workers, they are known also as concubines. They were the one that developed a friendship with us, and they were the one helping us flee in these plantations. Okay, when you heard about runaways, these were the women that helped us run away. From there, from that moment, that's when now we understand these women about to be a tool, a powerful tool to start the revolution in the future. What start to happen? We make sure these women does not betray us. We make sure, because that's one thing to work with someone, but that's another thing to trust that person furthermore. And this is where the process of initiation happened, because we make sure we put a spirit on them, so the spirit makes sure that that person, they do not betray us. Matter of fact, they work with us. That's when they initiate these women, and these women, now we bring the spirit of the ancestors with them, and now we teach them how to do this. This is what they don't tell you. These women were known to be one of the most instrumental to those revolution. They were the one as the whisper. They were the one telling us where the shipment was. They were the one telling us where to go get everything, the gun shipment, to put poisons. Yeah, they were to initiate. They learned the language. They know how to speak Creole. They know how to conjure spirits. We thought them because that was the time we were in. They were our first and true allies. That is the truth. Because they themselves, they were trafficked. Let me say it again. These women were trafficked to America. Whitey women were known as the number one human traffickers. They trafficked them here. The Ottoman bring them here as not only they trafficked them, but they were sex slave and also laborer. So they were ready to get freedom at all costs. And that's why they joined our cause. It was an opportunity for them to break free, to find true freedom, and to also have a family outside of bondage. This is the true history they removed from us. This is why racism is at its all-time peak, because they take that shit away from you. They hide that part from you. So when the revolution happens, these women was a strong influence to help us get this revolution popping. That's why they don't tell you. And this is why in voodoo, they only got one whitey spirit in voodoo, and it's a woman. Let me say it again. That's why in voodoo, they only have one spirit that come from the outside culture, and it's a whitey woman, and it's called Brigitte. You ever wonder how the hell Brigitte become a spirit? Because of her deeds. She becoming immortal. This is why Tataria always have a whitey woman as the face in liberty, because of that. This is what they hide from you. They don't want you to know that. Now, so when I see people feeling comfortable having seen whitey women practice voodoo, to me, it don't make me feel uncomfortable. Matter of fact, if you know the truth, you know this is how far your ancestors been going out there and reach out to many community to make sure that their knowledge and power been going through to bring about change that was needed at that time. That's the point. So when I saw them dancing, I just see another vessel for the ancestor to be used. I just saw another vessel from the ancestors to manifest their will. I don't really see nothing as far as bad and evil. It's the truth, because that's what voodoo is. Voodoo is spirits. Spirit can inhabit a host. Spirit can use a host. So why should I feel threatened? It's all about insecurity, and it's all about the fake narratives and the false narrative that always make you feel less, and that's always make you feel threatened by other communities because you think you don't have nothing. No, this would never make me feel like, because I know the truth. And this is where the culture of vampires start. And this is where the culture of zombification start. Because most of these women, we know we don't want these women to get caught. Because after we initiate these women, we know, man, the biggest problem there might be if they get caught. Because if they get caught, the entire operation will come to an end. And this is where the culture of zombification started. Zombification start with whitey women. Let me say it again. The zombification process starts with the whitey women. This is why they don't tell you. Now let me drop the science again on you so you know what I'm talking about. Once these women got initiated, they are our biggest spy, the biggest spiritual spy. So we always knew in the back of our mind, if they get caught, the entire operation will fail. So what we start to do, we make sure if they get caught, we give them a poison. So as soon as these women about to get caught, guess what? We give them the poison. The poison is what? It slow down their heart rate to the point you don't even hear a heartbeat anymore. You think they died. That was the only way for us to save them. by turn them to a zombie. So they buried these women, and we go out there and collect their body after a couple days and revive them over. This is what they're not telling you. This is how a lot of us got freed, by zombify ourselves so we look appear that we died, so they can wake our ass back a couple days later, dig the freaking ground and pull the coffin and get them out and bring them back to life. This is what they don't tell you. This is why they show you Baron Samedi is with a white tea woman, because Baron Samedi represent the word. They're gonna guide the spirit back to his body. That's why they call Samedi. You said Samedi is a Creole word. Said Samedi, Samedi. It mean what I say, and what is the term of what I say? Is to guide the spirit back to his body. That's what they told you Jesus did with Lazarus. Okay, when Lazarus was unalive, Jesus was Baron Samedi. That means he is the Baron. What is a Baron? He controlled the gates of death. So Jesus was a Baron at that time, and he guided the spirit of Lazarus back to his body. So now ask yourself what Jesus said. He said, Lazarus, wake up and walk. So what he said is the word Baron Samedi. So what he said is what it was. He told the spirit, he ordered the spirit, he ordained the spirit to go back to his body. And that's how the body wakes up. That's what Jesus was. That's what you call Baron. Okay? He was just a Baron. That's why he got Baron Trump. So now you've seen it too. So you start to understand better. I get you. Okay? It's all making sense. Okay? So this is where the culture starts of zombifications. And this is why after the revolution, that's how we used to call these women. We didn't call them white tea. We called them Claire. Okay, Claire. That means clear skin. We call them Claire. This is why the name Claire is the most used name in the whitey community than any other name, especially for women. You'll find the name Claire than any other name in the entire world when it come down to whitey women. Claire, because that was the name that were given to those people. They called them Claire. Those women, they called them Claire. Claire mean clear skin. That's where it came from. Creole, Claire. And then that's where you get the Latin other name, heureuse. Okay, when you get Claire heureuse, that means Claire is happy because Claire find freedom in America. And Claire no longer gonna get trafficked, no longer gonna get abused, and that's what become the symbology of Tataria. You will always see a whitey woman hold the staff of liberty and justice for all. That's what become the face and the beacon of Tataria. Whitey women, just like the Statue of Liberty. It's all created in the star forts in the same people. Okay? So, um, Karen, nah. I mean, Karina. I think Karen is a modern day of calling what it is as far as, people that just off and just, being messed up. But Karen is just Karina. It was a French Creole word. And in English today, we said Karen. Now, it was a lot of people called Karen. Karen it is different. But anyway, so people from a different community, like I said before, it don't really mean nothing, especially here in New Orleans. These women, they play a strong instrumental voice to change the reality of what's going on in America. And now for people here, remember the word Cajun. These were a lot of the people you call Cajun today in New Orleans. Remember the name is Creole and they have two way of explaining it. Cajun, that mean our day, to be free, okay? Because they call them Cajun French. Cajun mean our day. French mean free. And remember, cage, jeune, cage, that mean cage, that mean the person is in cage. That mean this is, what we call, how you call that, people inside of a cage. Cage, cage, that mean an encaged person. Cage, okay? That's what people don't know. That means somebody inside of a cage. So you were in prison. These were slave. Cage one. The cage one. Yes. Cage one. This is what they not telling you. people upside down because that's the point. If they take away Creole from you, you will not know a goddamn thing. They know within Creole, you can decipher their lie because they are making shit up. Remember that. When they do the Reconstruction era, all they did is trying to create fables and story. They are making shit up. So if they're gonna make shit up, that means they're gonna patch things up. They're gonna take stuff on the side. They're gonna take this story, this word, fuse this word, take this Creole word, fuse it with English, and they all patching shit up. So if you do speak Creole, you will be able to decipher their lie because it was just built on lie. It was never truth in the first place. That's why it was outlawed. So this is why you have the world you have today. And so much so, this is the reason why they gave you, let me say it again, this is the reason why they gave you a different versions of white people. Let me say, let me say this again. They know white people got introduced to the ancestor spirit. They know these people got introduced to the land energy. They bring them to the ancestral realm. They bring them to the voodoo realm. That means the ancestor, the spirit of the land, know these people. They give them the rights and passage to the land. And this is why they give you a different versions of them because they know they cannot use these people anymore because these people knows the land, they know the energy you help, they know how to cultivate the land, they were out there with you, they develop a strong bond with you. They know these people not gonna double cross you. This is why they give you a different versions of their ass. You know what they gave you? Incubators. They clone them. They give you a different version, totally different, because they know they cannot move forward with this new system with them because those people were not allowed the destruction of you. These people were not going to betray you. These people were not going to destroy your nation because they know you were the one that helped them get freedom. They know that was your land in the first place. So the system were never going to thrive with these people. So guess what? They freaking gave you a different versions of them. That's the world you live in, my friend. This is the world you live in. It's not what you think it is. It's far from the reality you think. This is why I laugh because only through true spirituality you'll be able to decipher the essence of a real one. Okay? Because they gave you a different groups. You have no idea. And ever since they create those incubators, you have a different America. Now, though, you can tell you the only difference is within the same groups of these white people that survive, what you're gonna find, the only group that you saw when it come down for some of them to tell the truth or come be on our side, these are some of our ancient ones. Those that you saw always rock with us when it come down to tell the truth or when it come down to join a real cause, you saw they right there with us, locking arm. Those are the real ones. Know the difference. But at the same time, there's other ones out there. They have no souls, bro. They have no essence. They don't care. Those are machine. They were designed to do that. And they are the one in charge today. The machines. They are performing a task. And the task is just what it is. Only them. So I gotta, this was just the knowledge for a lot of people that don't get it. Now, let's just talk in let's see, in the topics of um I love this. I actually take this. This was just a post somebody had. He said, "Welcome to Confuse America." I so love this, but at the same time, it's a true reality. But it still make. I mean, if anyone achieve consciousness, you should know what you see here is not so much about. a division. It's much more about fragments of memories of what we used to. So all these different sectors, all these different groups is nothing more but different facets of our existence or different facets of our ancestors before we are what we are today. So we just only identify with a memory. And that memory happened to be a Moor, or that memory happened to be indigenous, or that memory happened to be a Hebrew Israelite. This is what it is. You've been all of this. We've been all of this. So, whatever you saw going on right now, it's necessary. I know some people are gonna feel like when it's when it's gonna be time for us to unify, bro. It take about 150 plus years to get us to this point. So when you've seen so many factions and so many groups, it's still a part of a conversation about to figure things out. So we trying to put the pieces together. Because about 150 years plus, that's how long it was before they get us to this condition, a condition of not knowing nothing. So our memories is coming back and we are putting the pieces together. So now some of us identify with a piece of that memory. But it's necessary. Oh shit. I'm rhyming again. I feel like I'm in the cipher again. But that's the truth. We've been all of this. So we have to go through the cipher of remember, of conversations. But nevertheless, if we understand, overstand, understand, we were all of that. Now we come down to one thing, the unification. Okay? We beyond that. Now it's about putting all our resources together and see each other as the supreme being now. Now, what is a supreme being? Let me say this for people. Because a lot of people heard the term supreme, and you have a lot of people that use the term supreme to for hatred. Now, when I mean supreme, supreme mean you are in a set of example for humanity. That mean your consciousness elevate others. That mean your presence make other better. That mean the way you do your lifestyle make each other better. That is a supreme being. That mean your consciousness is constantly evolve. Again, everything around the world, everything in this world were created by us. That. And we the oldest people in the planet. Tartaria was the most beautiful civilization in the planet. We were not destroying people. We go around the world and free everybody. The IT empire fight and free the world. Anywhere that is oppression, expect the empire to send help. Expect the empire to send soldiers to end oppression and human trafficking. That's what you call supreme. Nowadays, people that call themselves supreme is oppressing people. That is not supreme. That's why I always ask the universe to make white supremacy truly become white supremacy. I want that to happen. They don't know what they are saying. Because if they were supreme, the world would not look like this. Everybody will be good. Everybody will feel like, yo, your action is supreme because you are making life better. You are making everybody feeling better. That is what supreme is. But they confuse supremacy to deficiency. Let me say one more time. They confuse supremacy to deficiency. Being a parasite, being a hater is not supreme. That's why I said I'm praying and hope they truly understand what they are pushing for. And if they really get it, I will be all for that. Because I want you to be a beacon of light for the world. I want you to end poverty. I want you to bring about health care to the world. I want you to build a better world. That is supremacy. I want that. I can't wait the day for us to see what you said you claim it to be. Not hating on the next person, not oppressing the poor. That is not supremacy. It's deficiency. So we just got to call it like it is. Okay? We just got to call it like it is. Let's move forward. Okay? So, this is for the Moors. Like I said before, this is for the Moors. And I got to remind the Moors again. Let me bring it back. We are not Moroccan Moor. You see the Moorish flag that you be seeing these cats walking around, some having in their front porch of their cribs, and they be right. Let me be fair. Let me be clear. Look at what they told you. This flag was adopted in November 17 and 19. Look at the date. Anybody here? Anybody here know what happened in 1915? Anybody? Exactly. 1915 is when the empire fall. That's right, Eric. 1915, this is when the empire fall. So technically, this flag were created right after the empire fall. So therefore, this flag ain't got nothing to do with an empire. It have nothing to do with America. It has to do with the Reconstruction. Yes, Federal Reserve. There you go. It's nothing more but a partnership to give life to a de facto system. So when you heard they said the more help America, no, the more help aiding the de facto system over the empire. They ain't got nothing to do with the ancient empire of America. So we need to know that. I'm sick of people talk about a Moorish empire. No, the Moors, Morocco never was in a goddamn empire. I want people to know that. Somebody said the United States is Morocco. Bro, the United States become United States Corporation with Morocco. Look at the date. Again, look at the date. That is when this Federal Reserve was created. This is when all the banking system were created. Of course, they're in cahoots with each other because this is none other than other nation partaking to give life or validation to de facto system because the empire fall. That's what I said. They aid the corporation. That's what I said. Okay? So you understand and understand? This is a young flag. You get it? You The real name is Mawok. Today you said Morocco. The real name is Mawok. Okay? Not Morocco, Mawok. And that was a colony for the Empire of Haiti. Let me say it again. They were a colony for the Empire of Haiti. So when people talking about this game, please, they don't know what they are saying. These are agents. This flag is new. It's a 1915 flag, and this flag was born after the empire fall. And yes, they are dealing with the U.S. because the U.S. corporation, they need what you call a backup. So they are none other than another backup to give them life to the corporation. That's it. Of course, you have a flag. You have an empire flag. Let me show you the empire. You see that? That is the empire. All of these figures were under the empire. Your King Kamehameha, King Kamehameha II, Vicente Guerrero, Simon Bolivar, all of them were under the empire. This is what they hide from you. This is what they don't tell you. This is what they don't show you. Yes, that was the Tartarian Empire. Let me say this again. This is what people don't understand. Tar mean black. Tar area. That mean the black area. Now let me say this again. Why they call it tar? Tar is the soil, the black land. Tar is the soil because this is the most potent soil to grow food. America was known as the land of the honey and the milk. This was the land that produced the most food in the ancient time. Food was the currency. That's why it's called Tartaria. Tartaria. That means the black land area. This is what they're not telling you. Yes, the promised land. Anything you put on the soil, it grows. America is the only place. They have every food in the goddamn world. More food than any other places in the world. This is what they're not telling you. So, I just have to bring that up to show you the difference. Let me bring this back. You see the flag? I I want this FBA kid. It's funny how they just always trying to trigger people, always trying to start issues and beefing with everybody. You see what he just tell me? Oh, I'm disrespecting FBA and I'm using FBA lingo. What lingo? If anything, FBA is using Haitian lingo. It's funny because they are using the flag. The flag come from the Empire of Haiti. They use the other flag. The other flag come from the Republic of Haiti. It's funny because, and they're quick to disrespect you, and these are the flag that they're gonna use. It's ironic how they're so hateful, and they don't even know that whatever they are so conjuring their hate from, they don't know the blueprint come from the people they are hating. Their blueprint come from those people. Make it make sense. That's what you call ignorance at its finest. You can make this shit up. Both of these flag is FBA flag. I mean, I guarantee you, whoever gonna come disrespect you, gonna have one of these flag. Not knowing both of these flag actually come from IT flag. One of them, the red and black, come from the Empire flag. The blue and red come from the Republic flag. So again, if you talk about lingo, the lingo of the Empire, y'all jacking the lingo of the Empire. What are you talking about? It's sad, bro. It's really sad. I never thought that this is what we about to do now. Y'all just disrespecting each other. That's one thing for someone, like I said. I'm not against FBA people that's correcting people lying. I'm all for that. I'm all for that. If somebody's lying, somebody's saying certain things about, oh, who create hip hop, about, oh, who do this and that, I got no problem with that. But start the disrespecting people to trying to make you think you do everything and everybody else is, they all trash, and then you forget about one person. That is cowards, and that's where we have a problem. Somebody say, let me show you this, so you understand what is Haitian. Remember, when you said Haitian, now I just so I so want y'all to I would definitely like to debate some. I would like to debate Tariq, man. That would be amazing for me to put an end to y'all. Can you read this date? The person that just write me and said did George Washington was Haitian. Can you read this date? I want the same person that just write me. Do you read this date? Okay, so now ask yourself this simple question. Ask yourself this simple question. What the hell is a Haitian? Huh? I want you to do it. Because it seemed when once people said Haitian, they're assuming that is a difference as far as like, yeah, we here in the States, we American, we in the States, we here, and y'all Haitians in the Caribbean. See, this is the problem. Haitian was always the name of the empire. We exist before all of these nations that have been born in America. 1492 is Haiti. 1492 is IT. Let me remind you again. 1492 is IT. So before the state, before you call it United States, it's always been Haitians. That is the primal name of the freaking continent. Before Mexico, before all of them is IT. Do you understand? So when you said Haitian, that was the name of our people. You just really don't get it. You know what IT mean? You know what it mean? It mean the God's land. It's a privilege to have a name like that. It's a privilege to claim a name like that. It means the God's land. And the second name is Kiskea, mean the mother of all land. God damn it. Let me say it again. It mean the land of the gods. Kiskea mean the mother of all land. So you don't think it's a privilege to know this is my roots? This is my ancestors? And today you feel so entitled because of a corporation? Let me say one more time. Today you feel so entitled because of a corporation that destroyed the greatest civilization of all time, that keep you oppressed. What's so sad about it? You feel so proud of a corporation that don't even give your ass value. That is the disrespect. You disrespecting everybody, hoping this corporation drop a dime on you, hoping this corporation drop a crumbs of breads on the table so you can use your tongue to scrape the shit off the table. And you want to disrespect a nation, I mean, an empire that freed the world? So you think I'm going to drop my title of my ancestors over corporation slaves? Ask yourself, what does corporation ever do for the world? Let me remind you again. What is this corporation ever did for the world? IT free the world. Let me say it again. IT free the world. So you really think I'm going to play with that? No, no. I know the truth. Let me keep on educating you. Because y'all love playing this game. And every opportunity I get, I'm going to remind y'all once again. My ancestors have castles all over the states. Let me remind you again. Because I see someone send me a video. They were, showing a bunch of people in Congress instead of saying like, oh, the FBA need to get all of these debtors Caribbean off of Congress. And then they get to one of the Haitian lady. Her name was, I don't know, I think she's in Florida. She's a congressman, some Womack, something like that. And say, oh, that Haitian lady need to step out. FBA need to come. I'm laughing. Y'all become worse than the skinhead now. So this is where we going now? Backward on humanity? Are you serious? I'm not seeing whitey people doing this dumb shit. All I'm seeing is us doing this primitive ass, degenerate ass practice. And we are doing this shit with each other? Are you serious? Now let me remind you, when it comes to us, we always been home. And when it comes to the Caribbeans, all of them, they always been home because the Caribbean didn't exist until immigration system start. Until the Immigration Act been passed. That's when the Caribbean were born then. Did you understand? That's when the border system was applying. That's how we couldn't come back home while they were importing other people from other places to fill up the gap. Do you understand? I know you see the coin system. Now I want the FBA to show me your existence into America. The only thing you got is your slave master. You hoping your slave master enforce his policy against the original people. So you hide behind your master and disrespecting everybody. How coward can you possibly be? That's what I told you. We in the same lingo. Now I can show you evidence. I show you evidence of my ancestor. I show you evidence of my presence in America, in the mainland. You can read. It said Empire of IT. Empire. Now look at the sigil. There's the same sigil in the wall. That's in New York. So if you happen to be in New York, you know what is an Empire State Building? Where the Empire State is? The same Empire State Building that they built with the airship, where the first airship dock system were built on top of the Empire State. And who built it? A Haitian. Now you get it? I can prove my people existence in here. But I mean, I don't think y'all can do that. I know y'all some hateful enemies. Y'all not from here. None of y'all can prove y'all existence here. Somebody said, why Haiti so poor? Do you even need me to answer this question? Is that what they told you? The first should be the last? Let me say it again. Is that what they always told you? The first should be the last. So you think Haiti's poor because of the people want to be poor? Or they got ganged up? They have institution to destroy it. They institutionalized the system to destroy it. Sanction, tariff, you name it, embargoes, you name it. Now ask yourself, why they do all of this against a nation that's supposed to be do all of the good stuff for people? It's called pushing a narrative. If Haiti is good, if IT is rich, if IT been given an opportunity to prosper for themselves, the truth gonna come out. Now, if the truth come out, what are you gonna do with a bunch of people now, knowing who they are and demanding restitutions? Let me say it again. What are you gonna do with a bunch of people knowing you stole their land, knowing that you've been operate under a false pretext? What are you gonna do with all of these people demanding restitution? That's why they got to destroy IT. That's why they got to put a foot in their neck. Because if you reduce a population to starvation, you reduce them, the only thing they can think about is their belly, is what they're gonna eat, or constantly being dehumanized. The world gonna see their struggle as their identity. Let me say it again. The world will see their struggle as their identity. And people that's here in the mainland will not want to associate themselves with that. They play on your psyche. Every melanated person in the United States is a Haitian. It's fact. They know it. And that's why they have to create an example out of the little area that still maintain this little bit of that identity. I mean, I can show you even more. Okay? We were never goddamn slaves. So for y'all FBA, because y'all believe y'all said, which is true, that's your narratives. They brought y'all here. Yo, I was here since the 1600s. My people been here since 1400s, since 1500s. We've been in empire since. So therefore, we are not create equal, bruh. Not created equal. Okay? Let me keep on showing it to you. You see that? This is when you feel so entitled to disrespect people, to say, yo, you in my country, man. I'm home. My ancestors always been home. They always been fighting to get their territory against invaders. 1776, my ancestors been fighting and protect his territory. That's why they call it battle states, okay? Against invaders. So if you bring the word FBA, my people is foundational. That's what foundation is. They laid a foundation for this land. So please correct your lips when you talking nonsense. I bring facts. Now, this is a money. Now let me show you hardcore facts, evidence about cannons. Let me show you the instrument that was doing this war. You see this? You see what's in it? You saw the date in these cannon? 1776. So you know, we've been out there fighting forever because we from here. We from the mainland. The Caribbean is the last resort. This is where we go hide. This is where the leaders, the warriors, they go hide in the Caribbean because it was invasions and war. This is the bunker. Exactly. That's why they call it Star Forts. Okay? Star Forts. This is where they go hide. This is the hideout because of invasion. Okay? That's them right there. That's why they went over there. That's why they call places in the Caribbean, Jamaica, Port Royals. They were expecting the royal bloodline there. This is why in Haiti they call it Ville au Camp. They were expecting the Khans, people coming from Asia. The Khans comes to be in Haiti because it was a global invasion. This is another area called Port-au-Prince. They're expecting the children, the princes, the princess. They were harnessing and harvesting all the super elite. They went to hides over there. This is what happened. But you don't know that though. Because you a little dog on a leash, and then they throwing little crumbs at you and you barking and you don't know what you're saying. You do not know what you're saying. Jacob, I honor you because you said you didn't know that. And I respect that. You really don't know that. Okay? This is people like you I honor because you said it. You didn't know that. Let me show you even more. You get that? This is the banner the war was going through. This is the banner of the United States. So when you're talking about, oh, you are foundational, you taking our lingo, no, look at the banner, bro. That banner belonged to the Imperium. This banner belonged to the Imperium, my ancestors' empire. It belonged to that. It's an ordinance. Okay? Take a good look at it. Take a good look at it. Because I'm educating your nonsense. I'm removing your ignorance. Just because today you speak English, you not knowing how you speak English, bro? English was brutalized. They brutalized you to speak English, bro. They unalive your ancestors to speak English, bro. And now you're using the same. See, this is what you call checkmate. It's people like you that don't speak the native language. They'll be the first to disrespect people because they know who you're gonna become. Okay? You see what you're looking at here? Let me show it to you. Okay? That is the sigil of the Imperium. This is right there. You see that? That's what you was looking at. That's why they discontinue the military banner. Because they tell you who was doing what. Okay? The banner tell you who was doing what. It was the Empire of IT. So the mainland belonged to IT. Yes, we all was Haitians. That's why they don't tell you. Before 1915, and the First World War start after 1915. The First World War start. The Federal Reserve, the dollar, the banking. That's how we lost power. That's how everything flipped over. You just didn't know that. And you know what the army names was? The Indigenous Army. Indigenous mean all of us in the Caribbean, all of us in the mainland, all of us in South America. That's why they call it continental. Let me show it to you again. It was a continental war. Now you get to know. Now you know. You get it? This is Guatemala, South America. Guatemala, South America, with the same sigil of the empire. I don't make shit up. I bring facts. Okay? I bring facts. Let these folks fool you out here. You see that? This is in New York. Everywhere. The sigil of the empire is right there. Now you might feel like, okay, this dude talking about empire. Where's the hardcore proof? Now let me show you the goddamn crown. Okay? Let me show you where we came from. Since you want to be a slave, let me show you where we came from. You see that? That is the Imperium crown, and this is the Imperium sigil. You see it? Look at the top left. That is the sigil you find in all of these buildings. This is the sigil you find. That's what it called an empire. Now you get it? I do not make this up. I bring facts. So before you talk about lingo, this is where I came from. I came from royalty. We ain't the freaking same. You a slave, I'm a warrior. You a peasant. We ain't the fucking same. I don't have a self-esteem problem. I don't disrespect people because I know better. I was well educated. It's a privilege to be alive. It's a privilege to come from powerful people. So I should not remind people how bad they are. No, it's against the law. Respect each other because an empire mean everybody was cousins. Everybody was sisters. This is the culture I came from. I came from a culture of empire. I don't disrespect other people because an empire was global. So my brothers and sisters is global. That's why we not created equal. Just know that. Okay? So you think Tariq, what the hell is, you think Tariq, what the hell is this guy? What the hell Tariq have to show for? What true history Tariq can show you? What can he possibly show you right now? Nothing but hate. Nothing. a time to be alive, bro. What a time to be alive. It's a privilege to expose cowards and exposing lies and so many years of hatred. You think you think when the media showing Haitians in this condition, you think this make me feel any less? No. I know why they persecuting my people like that. I know why my people being mistreated all over the world and nobody doing anything. This is a test by the Most High. I know their mistreatment. There's a reason behind. They are the sacrifice. My people are sacrifice. They are a sacrifice to a false system, a system that rewrite history. So they have to use them to push their false narrative. So while you laugh at their struggle, while you laugh at their misery, they still a powerful people. They have a true history. Life is temporary. Don't worry about them. You out there having living a good life, you feel like you better than them. Don't worry. You still gonna have to face the wall. You all of us gonna be buried. And you know what? You know what promise though? The afterlife. The afterlife is real. So a lot of them are mere sacrifice within this system of oppression. But once they leave this body, they go right back to their royalty. So that's why I don't laugh at people misery. That's why I don't disrespect in people. That's why I'm not gonna use contrast to show I'm better than you and I'm not. Because these folks, they didn't choose this life. They given it to them. So therefore they trying to make the best out of it. But instead of trying to see how you can help them, now you disrespect them because of their condition. And now what condition they are is by design. They oppress them on purpose just because they are trying to hide their legacy. Now ask yourself, why you think real foundational American, I'm not talking about you maggots, why you think real foundational black Americans, indigenous Americans, we share the same struggle with Haitian people? Why you think we Haitians share the same struggle with foundational, real indigenous American? Everybody else come here in the States, what do you see? Everybody prosper. But indigenous American, they can't get shit. Everybody in the Caribbean will get something. Haiti will not get shit. You don't get it? They know the truth more than you know. Why you think when the war happened in the continent, when the invasion happened, let me show you some again. It's because you don't know the history, and I gotta educate you every opportunity I get from that. Okay? You see this? These are all the state that still call IT today. These for the FBA folks out here. All your World's Fair. Let me say it again. All the World's Fair is registered at IT. This is where all the territories of IT. Coincidence? No, because that's what it was. Before everything reconditioned, before everything changed. You just don't know that, don't you? You just don't know that. But you would not know it because you're too invested in hatred. But every opportunity I get to correct y'all, I'm gonna do it with all my might. You best believe that. Uh-uh. We ain't gonna settle for that. We would never settle for that. Let me show you some again. This is why we fled the Caribbean. Because it was war. You see this? This is where all my ancestors was coming from. They were coming from New York. They were coming from Boston. They were coming from Baltimore. They were coming from Georgia. They were coming from Charleston. They were coming from New Orleans. This is where our people was coming in and out from. They don't tell you that though. They cannot tell you that. They got to hide that from you because guess what? They have a slave story. Slave story that gave birth to you. Now ask yourself, why you think in the process, that process you're looking at, this was process of war. Why you think in the so-called IT constitution, in the republic, remember when an empire fall, it turned to a republic because an empire mean so many places is no longer governed. They are being occupied by a different body. So now you have to use all your resources to one area or several little areas. So we activate the republic. So therefore, since the empire fall, we activate the republic. Tell me where in the world, now I'm talking to the FBA right now. I'm talking to the FBA right now. Tell me where, what constitutions in the world that include black Americans. I'm gonna say black Americans so you get it. Tell me what nations in the world that have a constitution that include indigenous American in it. Tell me who have that. I'll wait. I'll wait. That's why I know y'all cowards. IT, only IT, only IT Constitution, only IT Constitution include Indigenous American. It's not because they include it. Look at the freaking map. These are family members. This is us. We always been the same people. That's why we make sure that we tell my people, look, you can come home. While other people was coming, we make sure their boat is not docking into our shit. Because this place was designed to bring our people in. This is how you turn to a coward because you don't know what the fuck you saying. You don't know the truth. You know how many of our ancestors they got trapped in the mainland? A bunch of them got trapped in the mainland. Now ask yourself, who was telling they're willing to pay for them to come home? IT Empire did that. They were willing to pay for every single indigenous American just to bring them home because we know we got invaded. So a lot of our family member went to captivity. So ask yourself, if we were so different, if we were not the same people, why our ancestor did that? Because we know we were one before invasion. So we got to make sure we reach out for all of our people so they can come home and be protected. You didn't know that. It's not your fault. And that's why if a lot of y'all ancestors, because I know y'all just, a bunch of y'all enemies. Y'all the enemy that invade our land. Because remember, that the invasion happened by the Ottoman. The Ottoman is a body of different groups, North African, Central African, Mongolians, so, several Europeans. I know y'all the children of these invaders. Disguised as FBA. I know that. I know that. Let me show y'all descendant. That's y'all right there. That's y'all right there. Okay? That's y'all that's stationed in the States for hundreds of years and now try to disguise. And I know y'all don't carry the spirits. It's a spirit thing. It's not a facial, it's not a skin tone thing, it's a spirit thing. Anybody that have that much hate for his brothers and sisters in the Caribbean, you got to be an enemy. Let me say it again. Anybody that carry that much hate for anyone in the Caribbean or anyone in America, you got to be the children of the enemy. Just know that. This is a freaking joke. Oh boy, it's hilarious, bro. This young girl here, man, this girl, she's doing an amazing job, but I've seen the stress that she have to go through just because, her grandmother, based on, she said her grandmother was Haitian, and the heat that she's receiving just because she bring the truth about IT, and all of it happens like just because IT though. Just because IT. I'll never say Haiti. Haiti got the root word hate. And that's why they call it like that. It's IT. And just because a bunch of cowards. Y'all just cowards. And me and her, I love what she's doing, but the only difference between me and her, I'm gonna respond, y'all weak asses. I'm gonna bring facts. I'm gonna bring receipts for y'all. I welcomes all the smoke. That's the difference. I yet to see none of y'all to challenge me. Y'all looking at my ass in the distance. Cause cause I mean, what y'all gonna say about me? Y'all can joke, y'all can say shit about, because y'all be talking slick and bring the little shit. Oh man, he look Haitian. Last time I checked, how it look Haitian look like? It's funny because I be hearing y'all be saying that, oh man, he look Haitian, he look American. I mean, last time I checked, an empire have diversity. Let me show you something. Because I love doing this. It's education. It's education, baby. We educate, not dedicate. You are dedicate. Let me fix you up. He look Haitian. I mean, I'm just saying, how a Haitian supposed to look like? Huh? This is Pedro Saab, the founder of Chicago. Now, I mean, listen now. Let me get this straight. Let me bring that up again, because it's funny. It's so funny and weird is how uneducated these people are. It get to the point, man. I mean, God gracious. Let me show you something. That's a princess of America. I'm just saying, like, how Haitian supposed to look like? Let me show you even more. Now, I mean, I'm gonna show you something like it's pathetic, but education is the key. Until we not doing that, we're gonna keep having these folks out here. I know y'all hate my guts. All of y'all hate my guts. Cause I have no flaws to my game though. I'm prepared for y'all. Okay? I'm prepared for y'all. This is a Haitian. You see that? This is a whitey women in there. Let me remind you again, because you don't know. An empire rules the world. An empire have many places around the world. So IT was a diversity. The most diverse was the empire. You have different types of people within the empire. You have African, you have people from Australia, you have Tahiti, you have Hawaiian, you have people from the mainland, you have South America. That was an empire. You have diversity. So, what Haitian look like? Are you implying misery and struggle of people today? So you don't think that there's a group of people, misery give them a style of look. You don't know that if you bring those people here, you give them food and shelter and happiness, they're going to start to rehab their facial. They're going to start to have what we call cosmetically, they're not going to be challenged as much. Oh, you don't know that part? And number two, how Haitian supposed to look like? I'm confused because they come from every styles of background. Are you implying Haitian ancestors that look heavily like Africans, and you assume that's how all Haitian look like? Let me remind you again. Africa was a part of the empire. Let me give you the name of these empire nations from the empire: Liberia, Sierra Leone, Mali, Ghana, Senegal, Benin. All of these places were under the empire. So when invasion, when war What's happening? That's why in the constitutions, they told you this was the land of the free. Anyone that escaped captivity from these invaders, you welcome to come to Haiti. So it was a boatload of people from all over the world fleeing to come to Haiti. That's why you find diverse faces and even a strong Africoid feature over there. Because they come for freedom. And you didn't know that? So now yes, even Japan, we know that. Okay, so we not making this shit up, but it's because you are undereducated. You are seeing everything through the lens of your master, and then you don't know what you're talking about. Because I don't get it. Y'all cannot pull the fast one on me, though. I tell you that. None of y'all can pull a fast one on me. The ancestor chose a good avatar. They chose me. Okay? I lived a life already. I never been a goddamn loser all my life. And we can go way back if you want. I mean, since high school, since a baby, I've always been fly all my life. I've always been privileged all my life. And I've always been humble all my life because they were preparing me for this moment. So I got no flaws to my goddamn game because of y'all suckers. I mean, what y'all gonna use against me? What you possibly gonna use against me? Oh, you have an accent. Damn right. I speak four freaking language. Shit. You hear me? You can't. My brain is shotting neuron every time I open my mouth to say a word. My brain trying to decipher how to go about it. Oh, go in Creole. Oh, go to French or go to Spanish. Oh, how to go? Yeah, which you can't. So, what is your pride? What is your pride? Disrespecting people? That's what your pride is? Come on, man. I stay hearing this every time. Oh, the Caribbeans, they come out here, they are disrespecting FBA. Won't doing shit like this. These people mind their goddamn business. These people working 2 or 3 jobs. They barely have time. Now ask yourself this. Do they really said these things? Yes, they did. They have these conversations with their children. But now ask yourself, why would they have a conversation like that with their children? You want to know why they have that conversation? Because your master, the master of Hollywood, those that control the media, they make movie that portrayed indigenous American as gangsters and thugs. So them as parents, they feel like if this is what their children, because they're working 2, 3 jobs, is gonna actually become, they're gonna use the same propaganda they saw on TV to make sure they speak that way. It's not really their sentiment. They programmed them to say that. So instead of you notice that this is not really those people real sentiment, it was programmed, it was used to make them think that way. And who's doing that? Your master, but you're not gonna hold your master accountable though. You want to use that as a blueprint to big up yourself or to find validation to say, oh man, these Caribbean come out here talking slick to foundational Americans and we out here taking all the slack. We fought for these people. Bro, are you serious? These people's not responsible for your problem, man. These people be marginalized. They don't have nothing. The people, the people that's stopping you is not them. It's the same people that causes you to go against them. The system. They're not in control of the system. They're not the one stopping your paycheck. They're not the one stopping you from getting your reparation. Because if they decide to give you reparation, no one in the Caribbean can stop that, bro. Congress is responsible. Let me say this again because I'm sick hearing these little games. It's a game. Nobody, it doesn't matter how much people bad mouthing, as because a lot of y'all keep saying that. It does not matter how many people bad mouthing the so-called reparation. If Congress decide to make it happen, they can make it happen. No one can stop it but them. But guess what? They are not doing it. It's not the people's fault. Please stop calling people that have no power over this. It's insane. No Haitian stopping you from getting reparation. No Jamaican. Nobody from South America. Nobody from nowhere stopping you from getting reparation. Your master just not giving it to you. Just come to that conclusion. Because he's always been the one not doing nothing for that. That's all you got to come to grips with, bro. He's just not giving it to you. Be mad at him, not the people that's working 2, 3 jobs. They're trying to survive. Come on, man. So you don't think I would like to be happy to see my people getting compensated? If my people happy, I'm good. If my people good, I'm good. So you think that I would not like to see my people getting a break? Are you serious? My people is generous. They get money. Everybody getting money. Who will not want to see the reparation get through? Like, are you serious? More business. My people love spending. Y'all flossing. Money gonna be out there. Who would not want that? This is why they're not doing it, because they know as soon as we get this shit, happiness. These folks don't want us to be happy, bro. They were designed for that. These incubators, these baby boomers, they were designed for that. They are oppressor. They're designed to oppress. They are not here to see happiness. These folks can care less if you got $20. If that $20 makes you happy, it's a problem for them. While they have trillions. But if your little $20 bring a smile, it bring happiness among us, they will put an end to that bitch. That is the problem, my friend. It's not us doing that. It's them. They don't want to make us happy. They don't want to give you the check, bro. Stop using this excuse. This is what I just feel like too many folks out here, too many people allowed an agent. Tariq is an agent. This dude is an agent. And he's not the only one. We have plenty agent before. Malcolm was an agent. Martin was an agent. It's a system. Dr. Ben was an agent. All of them were the agent. They have the paper trail. The FBI and CIA show you these. All of them they are agent. They work. They hired them. It's not me saying that. Their goal, their job is to keep the mind, is to give us a line so we can behave. Yes, Dr. York, all of them. So it's no different between Tariq now. Same shit. They're gonna be good, but they want us to always have confusion. Always have confusion. That's how it goes. Now ask yourself this question. Because the underlying work of Tariq, you probably don't understand or overstand the underlying work. Now pay attention. So Tariq is teaching you to hate everybody, where you just only be with yourself, right? Now pay attention. Tariq teach you to hate everybody that is melanated. Now, he's not beefing with nobody. He's beefing with the melanated one. But he's cool. He's calling everybody tethers, but the biggest tethers of all time is his master, and he never called out his master. So do you call that a movement? Huh? You call that a movement. And if shit pop off, if shit pop off, you most likely gonna knock on the door, or you might get help from the very same people you're disrespecting. How that work? If shit go down right now, who you think you will feel safer to be around? The whole Caribbean shit will fly out the window. Your whole African shit will fly out the window. You're gonna see a brother, and that a bitch. Now you start to understand the game being played. That's why I don't agree with this movement. I want them to get reparation. If it could go down, I would want that for them. If it was me, it would be restitution. But anything that can bring about a smile on my people's face, I'm down for that. If this is what the goal is, if this is what's gonna make them feel right, I'm all for that. But disrespect people or put a blame on people when the people that deserve to get the blame for, you don't have the balls, you don't have the guts to call them out, but you rather point fingers at innocent people, powerless people, then I have to call you out because you're a freaking cowards. You are directing your rage on people that they have no power over what you want. And that's a coward ass fucking move. I'm just saying. Of course, restitution will be greater, and that's a fact. But to have restitution, you can't be a slave to have restitution. Now, I mean, that's all I'm saying. You can't be a slave to have restitution. It is what it is. So, I think time is up. I'm gonna take a couple call in here. So if anybody have a couple questions, see what it's 10:48 at 11. I'm gonna stop the show at 11. So I'm gonna open the panel. So let me get a couple folks out here.
I'm here first.
What up, Art?
Hey, how you doing? Uh, uh, the reason why I came up real quick is because, and again, I've been listening. Something like I've been calling me for the past couple of days. I've been asking, questioning, doing my own ritual, and connected to the dot about Haitian, and I come to a conclusion like I can see like Haiti is like a portal, you know, that open something in the world that it is not just Haiti. I feel like it's the biggest portal in the world that, in like you said, the crown of the Caribbean, and I feel like that Haiti is the is the is the head of the Caribbean that give life to everything in a way. Because I've been, and you say a lot of
Let,
things.
let me say to this:
Uh-huh.
it's not Haiti, and it's no such thing as greater than other. It's a symbology. What you call Haiti is a remnants of Atlantis, the piece of land of Atlantis, but also, man, I'm hearing myself right now, bro. I don't know why it's echoing.
Oh, hold on. Let me mute me real quick.
But like I was saying, man, when you say IT, that's why ancestors call it indigenous. IT mean togetherness. That's why they said the land of the gods. That's why they said the mothers of all land. That means it's a unification. It's a symbology of unification. That's why even when the children come back, when the French mean the free, the children that freed themselves, when they come back, they call it l'union fait la force. That means unity is strength. IT is a symbol of unification. It's a symbology to remind us what we can accomplish together. It's a symbology to remind us how powerful that we are. That's all it is. It's an egregore. And that's why they make sure they distort it. That's why they make sure they make it look so ugly. So everybody stay away. So we lost the motto and we lost what it means. And that's what it is, bro. It's a symbology in the egregore.
Yeah, you just give me like, exactly because what I'm trying to process right now, I feel like they come from the source where I'm to process to the energy, but to find the correct word, you basically just expect it for me in the proper way for people can understand. Like I said, for the past couple of days, from yesterday to today, I've been my mind been so much information. I'm coming to my mind so fast, and again, I will connect with you again through the same thing you were. I was experienced the past couple of days. Those on I'm coming because like, I was thinking they're trying to deconnect us from the land so we cannot connect it again. But somehow, some of us that was born on the land still carry this code within us. That's why I can say from 2020 when Biden kind of like bring us over here. Some of us it was it wasn't just like a physical thing. It was a energy taking it like a spiritual way disconnected from and bring our energy to them. So because they need our energy because they can like you said the Haitian people they like they're powerful. They're like our vessel is like a it's a vessel that can open anything. We're stronger, and the force that we have is bigger than than everything. That's why and again, you just break down the word for me the same way. Yeah.
I'm gonna
I'm gonna
explain
explain
this.
this.
Everybody's
Everybody's
powerful, man.
powerful, man. Mm-hmm.
What Haiti, like I said, Haitian represent what you call a resistance, and the resistance cannot be inspired by others. That's why they set an example out of them because here in the state, after the empire fall, they trying to make sure that Haitians not coming back home because if they do come back home, there will be a symbology to the people that stay behind here, which is the mainland, the American, the indigenous. There will be a set an example to remind them things and to be the revolt energy and also bring about the knowledge that they try to erase, which means they don't want you to speak Creole, and then you come back with Creole and you come back with the practice. No, it was a no, and that's why they do that to outlaw all of that. Mula, what up, Evan? Sorry, man.
Yeah, yeah. What up, man? What up, man? Good live too, man. Good live too.
Appreciate it.
Your chief. Oh, yeah. I'm gonna ask a question, right? When they talk about the civil rights, because I always hear about the FBA when they have the concept of civil rights, right? You had a
Mhm.
video with the President McGrew. I don't know his first name,
Yes,
President
yes,
McGrew.
indeed, yes, indeed.
Yes, and I know you mentioned that too. What did we do to because a lot of the FBA claim that we didn't do anything, but I know that too. We played a role. What role did we play? Because and it's so funny too, Chief. And the people that benefited the most from the civil rights movement was white tea women too, but they don't
Of
talk about
course,
that. But they don't
they
talk
will
about
never,
that too.
they will never talk about that. Matter of fact, let me say this. See, FBA people don't know nothing because they are they use a timeline. Their timeline is civil rights. Remember, Jim Crow is actually a brutal tactics to recondition our people. It's pretty much was a concentration camp era. It was an era to recreate a new groups of people. That mean they're gonna make sure you forget about your past, forget about your glory. Now we're gonna indoctrinate you with the African story, with the slave story. So these are the people now telling you things. So that's why I laugh because we are not created equal. Because these folks are conditioned to be slave and they are conditioned to be subservient. And anyone that want to use civil right as a timeline of something, you should be laughing because we come from an empire and now people want to claim civil right as a badge of honor. Are you serious?
Exactly.
This got to be the lowest blow. That's why I said I don't pay them no mind because, like I said, they are. You got to be kidding me, bro. So you think I'm gonna use civil right as a badge of accomplishment when we have an empire that rule the goddamn world? Seriously? And that's why I don't waste my time with the civil right because if they want that, I can take it with them because it was my law. It was a Haitian president that actually went in Congress when black men was not allowed to drink in fountain. They have the only black man that went in Congress in the floor of Congress and also signed those documents to push it because he gave out some things to Queen Elizabeth. So basically, it was because of Haitian the civil right goddamn passed. They don't even know that, but it's all good.
Yeah. Okay. And also too, lastly too, real quick, Chief. I know that too because
I'll bring you back. I'll bring you back, Moolah.
Yeah. Greetings, Chief.
What up, Zoo?
I'm fine, thanks. Please, I want to explore.
You got a phone call, man? Moolah, you can come back, big homie.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, I hear you now. You go ahead.
Okay, please. I was interested in exploring this issue of genetic splicing. These
Hmm.
boomers, these baby boomers that are responsible for, deciding what goes on in the world now are a result of genetic splicing. I want to know how long can a genetically spliced being continue to exist? How long will their DNA continue to remain strong, and how long can they continue to reproduce? And
Now,
still tell the other story.
modern day, they can live a life. They can live a long life, but they will not be fully function as normal. They're gonna have some body parts, some failures. That's why a lot of them is on dialysis. That's why a lot of them is having body parts change. That's why you find a lot of missing kids. A lot of crazy shit happens, and that's why they sponsor poverty. Especially Haiti is the number one place in the Caribbean. They have the largest organ trafficking in the America. So you can only understand it's actually an industry that's out there. So a lot of these, splicing or these boomers or these incubators, that's how they prolong their life by having body parts transferred to them. So, and technology gonna make it even better these days where they can even live longer than that because technology evolved through time. So that's how they be able to, have this, more time to be around.
So will they continue to dominate even as we enter into the new age, or will things change as the frequency changes? Will they
Um,
have the opportunity to
yeah,
continue to
see,
rule
things gonna
forever?
change. Things gonna change because a lot of our ancestors already make a deal. They already make I said a promise, and since their truth is being revealed, the reason why you never see change happen in the world because the truth was never out. The truth was actually in prison because they told us we come from nothing, we were a slave, and we were never run shit. So therefore, with a truth, with a lie like that, you don't have powerful spirit. They're willing to reincarnate it because you're not telling their truth. Since you're not telling the truth, those spirits don't want to come back. So that's why I said history is a spiritual act, and it's actually a big ritual because history can trap and encapsulate your ancestors because your ancestors don't live their truth. So for that reason, they never want to come back. So things are gonna change because the truth is out now. Leandy,
Hey, my brother, Voodoo Chief.
what's up, man?
Greetings. And the name
Greetings.
is Allendis.
Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah,
INDs. All right.
hey, a lot of people, this is not new to me, and I accept the fact that it must be explained. It's really Sydney from right to left if you're looking at Sydney I, SYDNEY with an I.
Yeah, I see that.
And what I
Yes.
did is reversed it. That's what the Spirit told me to do.
Hmm.
I'm your brother.
No doubt, no doubt. So what's the
What
deal,
I'm
big man?
interested in is your research, brother. You are one of the greatest researchers of our era. And this is not gaslighting. This is from a perspective of an elder who based most of my information on brothers who did research. And I can tell that the research was from an empirical spirit of our ancestors. I, for one, I'm from South America. I'm from the northern coast. I'm from Guyana.
Mm.
Our revolution and your revolution somehow coordinated. I want to know what information you have on the revolution in Guyana in 17, I think it was in 1763, I think. Somewhere around there, but the brother was Kofi. The brother's name is Kofi.
Now let me say this.
I think
Remember,
Kofi
these are
came from Haiti, from
yeah.
Haiti.
All of these places used to call Cheyenne. Remember, a lot of names. These are new names they're introducing not too long ago. When they start the industry or when they introduce the Immigration Act, that means they're gonna weaponize the borders and use immigration to what we have selective immigration. That means they only want certain group of people to come in, and that's how they create a lot of nation. A lot of flag were created from that time to just create the to give life to their practice with the whole nation thing. So all I can say before it was named Guyana, it didn't mean nothing. All of us was under the empire. In the empire, we were known as indigenous. That was the identity. We were indigenous people. That's what it was. It was registered as indigenous people.
Well
Okay,
said.
so that's
I
what we
totally
are.
agree.
And this is, see, put it this way. What can give you the validation to show you we are the same people? Every time it's carnival, whether you go to Trinidad, before it used to be in Haiti in the early, we talk about the 40s and 50s. Whether you go anywhere, our people feel like we feel one. We dress the same. We have no boundary. We eat the same food, and we always speak in Creole at one point. So that's why we
Yes.
didn't have border. We didn't have nationality because the language we were one language. Thank you, Lindy. Appreciate you, brother. House of Prayer. What up?
Yeah, what's up, my brother? How are you?
I'm all right, beloved. What's good as a family, man?
Yeah, it's a pleasure. So I'm gonna both speak some few words in French so that you can decode that when you're doing your own thing. But I'm really happy to be here in your channel. I want to say that you're doing a great job. Tu fais un grand travail. First of all, tu as mentionné le Mali, le Burkina, le Bénin, le Togo qui étaient sous l'empire Haïti. OK?
Exactement. Hmm.
So, dans ce contexte-là, comme je voudrais pas que les autres puissent comprendre ce que je veux te dire, simplement, tu sais que j'ai fait mes recherches et j'ai eu un livre qui a démantelé tout ce que tu es en train de dire sur le déclin de Rome. Et sache quoi? Il y a le premier César de l'Empire de Rome. Il était d'Haïti. Son nom c'était Marus et l'autre il était du Mali. Son nom c'était Sylla. Sylla, c'est un sobriquet. Mais sache quoi? Ils n'ont pas dit ça dans l'histoire romaine. So you see what is
Hmm.
going on? Yes. Donc, currently, I'm really happy to be in this your channel. I mean, I've been watching it without saying anything. And then since you hit that one point that you made previously, I'm like, okay, let me just share that insight with you.
Man,
And
merci beaucoup, OK?
je
Pas
t'en
de
prie.
problème, je comprends très bien. Tu pourrais parler français un petit peu pour l'audience, hein? Je parle français un petit peu, mais j'ai l'habitude de fuser le français et l'anglais. Mais je
Okay,
comprends très bien.
I was very excited to hear that you were able to, to bring up the Republic of Mali, the Republic of Benin, the Republic of Liberia and Ghana and all of that on that
Yeah.
they were all under that empire. And the fact
Yes,
that you brought that fact, guess what? If you go to the Republic of Benin, I don't know if you already made the trip there, it's the same thing like IT. They
listen,
have the
it goes even further. I tell people, the majority of people from the coast, they actually call the West African. They not from
yes.
Africa. They from Brazil. Okay, these are ancient people that come from America to settle to the west coast of Africa. So
And
again, these are our ancestors. That's why a lot of them look just like us, and that's why they have the
exactly.
French name. They have French last name, or they speak English because of us here to there. Because this was a part of the empire. That's what people don't know.
Wow, because even those same name, the name that you can find like in Brazil,
Come again next time, brother. Appreciate the company. It was an amazing one. Line is kind of long. What up? What up? What up? What up, Zay?
Yo, what up? What up, man? How you doing?
You already know, pimpin'.
All right. So I was wondering, you had this question. Like, I know what they call DR today is really Haiti. Haiti that has been stolen. But you know, I be seeing on Google like Dominicans this whole idea that they made the Dominican Republic because Haiti didn't pay taxes. And I feel like that's a lie. Can you explain about that? Like, what was the whole situation behind
Well,
that?
to be exact, nothing as far as the story in Haiti today, and DR is gonna be in the favor of Haiti because IT been sabotaged, and it's a propaganda to actually remove this place and make DR take over because
Yeah,
DR is a de facto nation. They don't have no paper. So the best thing to do, because when you said DR is under the corporation. DR
yeah,
is
yeah.
owned by the US. The US owned DR. Okay, and those land was confiscated in 1915 by the corporation. So it's incorporated. So therefore, they are just having people doing the dirty job for them, but they're not the one in control of what's really going on. So any article you find online, it's not never going to be in the favor of Haiti because it's still a propaganda. It's a propaganda to have everything you're going to see about Haiti is always going to be bad, and everything you're going to hear about DR is always going to be in the position that makes sense for them. That's what you call propaganda. And that's why they give Haiti embargo that they cannot have a weapon. It's because they want,
Mhm.
Dominican to invade. It's,
Yeah.
it's all by design, bro. Trust me.
Well, okay.
So
So, what is the idea when people say Dominican Republic? I be hearing they say they got independence in 1821 called Spanish Haiti. Is that true?
it's all cap. They said they got their independence in 1844, which is 1844. It is the Ottoman War when we were fighting the Ottomans. So
Okay.
again, where's that paperwork? Who signed that paper? If you get
Yeah.
your independence from me, it's a treaty. That I mean, you got to get a treaty. Show me what president at that time. Remember, 1844. We have an emperor. So you gonna tell me we have an emperor in America and the emperor gonna let you be a republic out of the empire? Like, who does that, bro? Like, it's absurd. But that's the point.
Yeah.
These people, they are banking off ignorance. They are banking on people that's not educated. That's why these
Ages.
folks they are one of the most uneducated group of people in the entire Caribbean. Like, they are
Yeah.
not, and that's why education is the key. And they are heavily indoctrinated. Though it is what it is,
It is what it is, man.
no doubt. All right, Zay, time is running. Lumpy, yeah.
Mr. Chief, how's it going, man?
I'm all right, big brother. How you doing?
Man, thank you. That's an awesome work. Awesome work, bro. I've been following you for quite some time now. Awesome work, bro. Can't thank you enough, bro. Can't thank you enough. I had a question. The great mud flood, great flood they always talking about,
Hmm.
right?
Hmm.
So, is there something that provoked it, or was there a group of people that made that happen,
Okay.
or is it like a natural disaster, or
Right.
or
This
is
is
it?
what caused the
Mhm,
Great Flood. The Great Flood is happened due to the destruction of those towers. Now, in Tataria, remember, we have Tatarian before the war. Remember the Great Flood before they talking, but the Great Flood is not as far as you think. The Great Flood, it happens right after, you can say, right after the First World War. That's what it happened because they start to destroy those towers, and these towers is what you call the Eiffel Towers. They were
mhm,
everywhere. They were in Japan, many places. These are magnetic fields. So when they start to manipulate the magnetic field, it causes a major shift, and these shifts cause a lot of rain. And also, some military was using what we call weather machine system to cause
mhm.
flood in areas. So many was doing that. So they overflood certain areas, and this is what happened. So you can tell the First World War caused the flood. It's not something that happens in the ancient time. This is literally ancient technology that they're trying to get rid of that causes a major shift in the atmosphere. And also the World War, some nation were using weather weapons and they overflood areas, and that's what happens from there. And after that, you went to Second World War, and they know how to do it. And that's why you heard, if you ever heard about the Vietnam War, that's what the
Mhm.
U.S. military was doing. They were literally and make it rain nonstop because they are dropping what we call chemtrails and many stuff of the past. This is what the Great Flood was. It was not
Right.
like what they call the mud flood was the aftermath from war. That's it.
Okay. But Haiti, what was the island? Was it affected by that flood?
Of
Like,
course, it was affected. That's why there's a lot. There's a lot of stuff that's buried in Haiti. They have whole
mm,
cities that's under. They have pyramids that's covered with vegetation. The whole city here in the States, same shit. They have so many city in New Orleans that's underwater.
mhm.
They did it with that. A lot of stuff is underwater right there.
A lot of pyramids in
Yep.
because when you see La Citadel, there's a lot of mountains. It seems like a bit like pyramids under vegetation.
Yep. They up there's a bunch of pyramids looking like mountains. Just like they just discovered some part of Mexico. Unique, what up, pimpin'?
What's up with you, Chief?
What's good, man?
Uh,
Homie, I ain't
uh,
seen you for a minute, man. What's good now? You good, man?
yeah, I'm good, man. Yeah, I ain't caught you in a minute, but I had seen that movie Sinners yesterday. I
Yeah.
wanted to know if you seen it.
Oh man, I've been talking about that movie since last week. Of course I
Yeah,
see.
I didn't talk to you. You've been talk. I know you've been talking about it. I just missed it, man. I just wanted to know if you could give me a little rundown.
Man, listen, man. That's so many rundown. Matter of fact, I just have a piece of a live I did yesterday. Talk about it, and to be honest with you, in this movie, man, this I mean, it will look like a movie, but it's actually a ritual. It's a real thing. This that's why this movie doing so good. So good is because it attached to a real thing. There's a really a real entity behind this movie, like the Remick. You see the white guy playing this character called Remick. You remember
Yeah,
the last scene when the kid hit him with with the guitar and
sorry.
half of his face was smashed and you see his teeth and everything? You remember what I'm
Yeah,
talking about?
yep.
That is not it's not actually a character. This they create that's a demon. That's like a multi-dimensional demon. Now let me say this. Do you remember the white guy that create the machine that can take picture of these multi-dimensional creatures?
Nah,
You never heard that?
I remember you was talking about it.
Yeah. Well, that one of the pictures of all of these multi-dimensional creatures or demons, it's one of them that identical with this vampire, like identical with that vampire. Now it's so funny because right after I watched this movie, the next day I have a dream. I saw my cousin that actually come to my room, like my bedroom's door. And when I get close to him, he trying to bite my neck. And I was fighting him hard. And from trying to get to me, right after I watched this movie, the same night I have that dream. And from there, he transformed to that entity. Dog, he transformed 100% to that entity. I'm talking about the picture of all of these multidimensional. I explained that. I fight them off, and as soon as I got up from the dream, my room, I got an alarm next to my room. The alarm went off, bro. I kid you. If I lie, I crash my car with my family next time I drive it, bro. The
You
alarm went
talking about that?
off.
You talking about that entity that looked like Blanca from Mortal Kombat coming?
Yes. Now you man, listen, you nailed it, bro. You know what I'm talking about. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Exactly. The shit went off. The alarm went off as soon as I got off in the dream. That shit by the same area that I was fighting him. That shit went off. Now I'm trying to tell you, bro. That movie is not what people think it is. Marcelo, what up, man?
What's up, bro?
What's good, big homie?
Yo, bro, I just want to give you so much respect, mucho apreciación, from all the way from Boriquén to Cuba, Santiago Oriente, all the way up here in Manhattan, and
Man,
and
appreciate
on behalf of the Moors as well. I sell clothing for the Moors. We have our own clothing line, so I sent you a direct message, bro, and I would love to send you some of our clothes, man. I really
appreciate
appreciate. Yeah, man, you're an amazing brother, bro. I learned a little bit of the language, like Nabule, Napekembe, sabes, cosas así, tú me entiendes.
you.
Pero
I mean,
te
in
agradezco
in
muchísimo.
no time, man. In no time you'll catch on, man. But you know what? Family, cousins, we out here, bro. And ain't no such thing. And then, listen, man, ain't no greater feeling in this world to know everywhere you go, you have family members looking after you, man. That's what I want to bring about my people. I want my people to feel safe because we were a global citizen, man. We didn't have differences, bro. I mean, listen, nothing in this world is so much more empowering knowing that everywhere you go, you have no worry, no threat, no feeling down, no nothing because you at home. You are with your cousin. You are with your cousin, your sister, your brother. That's what I mean, listen, man. This is what I aim for, bro. And I
Absolutely,
appreciate you,
man.
man.
Yeah, man. I just wanted to give you good graces, and I want you to know that you're divinely protected by the Elohim, man. You know.
Honor
Y yo
to that.
quería preguntarte un momentico, hermano. Yo, what does Boricua mean?
It's Borenkin. It's is the noble lord of the Borenkin. It's just these are the lords. So therefore, remember they were not in these area at one point. The Caribbean literally was what you call the egg, like the emergency area. But everybody was here in America, the mainland. or South America. But once the war and the invasion happened, everybody got to go to the center because the Caribbean is in the center. They are in the center of the North and South America, so you can see the enemy coming from distance. That's why they went there. And the Caribbean was only the noble, the bloodline, the highest level, like the king, the emperor, the noble lords, and that's what Boricua was. They were the noble lords. So
Let's
again,
go.
high level, yes, that's who they were. So you got, I
Increíble.
mean, oh, it was the only the heavy hitters that have. That's why the Caribbean maintain culture. That's why
Yeah.
all the cultures stay in the Caribbean because that's where they go in to hide themselves. Okay, that's the thing. That's why people don't know, and that's why also Jamaica have Port Royal. That's why all our food is the same. We can
Peace,
eat from
bro.
all of us because it's the same group of people.
What up, Voodoo Chief?
Ayana, what up, baby? What's good?
What up, Voodoo Chief? I'm just, I love the live, love the information. Always, um, just wanting to ask, what's your take on some of the indigenous bloodlines? You kind of touched on it for the last person who was just up here, but the indigenous bloodlines, in terms of how many bloodlines there are. I did a cross reference with some of the stuff that was revealed in the film Atlantis: The Lost Empire. And this film came out in 2001, same year that they found the pyramid off the coast of Cuba,
Mm,
right? And in that film, they revealed a lot of things. They also revealed that there were like 7 specific royal kings displayed on the mural that was under water that Princess Kita and Milo looked at. So again, I just wanted to ask you, do you know anything about how many bloodlines there are, or
well, to be exact, I mean, I can be wrong because there's so much we lost out there. We putting the pieces together, but as far as like I can date back to what we have as far as the Mother Yinga, and the Mother Yinga have 13 bloodline, and that's why
Mhm,
you see they call it the 13 battle states. So to me, I think the Yanga bloodline was 13, and that's why they removed one of them. And today they told you now, the Israelite is 12 tribes, which means the 12 bloodline because they removed one of them, which is the Yanga bloodline. I believe that's the bloodline that we truly from eventually. But I think I think it might be 13, but
mhm.
within the 13, there's a lot of them that we don't have enough knowledge about as far as how to truly identify each of them. But the five, what we call the five cacique, what you call cacique,
Mhm,
this was the five dynasty that we're talking about. This was the Okay,
mhm,
this was the five dynasty that we're talking about. This was the Toltec, which is the Olmec, the Huastec, the Maya, the Inca, and then the IT. So this was the five Cacique, mean the five dynasty that comes all the way up to get to find. I mean, come from the top down to what we call IT as the last empire, which means the last, dynasty of those bloodlines. So that's what I know before we start having admixture. That means before we have a group of people start to coming in and
mhm.
start to mix, that's where eventually the end come from.
Okay, I love that. And then last, I just want to ask you humbly, how did you feel about the research that was developed by Arawak Diaspora Nation? Did you get a chance to read any of it?
To be exact, sis, I don't really have I didn't do it yet, but since you pressed me on that part, I'm gonna check it. I gotta give you an answer this week for sure. I'm gonna tell
I
you that much.
appreciate you, Chief. Thank you so much.
No problem, gorgeous. Hey, I love the fire, man. Say what's up to mama for me too,
I
okay?
will.
Mama ain't playing with none of y'all, man. Listen, sister got a mom. I mean, whoever know Ayana, y'all know that she's always fired up, and she ain't getting it by herself. She just got that straight up from her mother. Her mother just listen, man. She ain't play no game with y'all, man. But definitely, thank you everybody for this light up. We have a beautiful night. So for that reason, I gotta get myself out of here. So I'm gonna catch you guys tomorrow. 8 o'clock retro night is we're gonna do financial, so it's a money ritual tomorrow. So if you were participate 2 weeks ago, because it takes some time before I actually do this, it's the same setup. Nothing changed. Only thing you're gonna bring with you is $7 bill. You need seven single dollar bills, and you're gonna write down what you want in it. So I can't tell you nothing. Only you know what you want, and you write it in the dollar. So tomorrow, 8 o'clock, by in the morning. Yeah, I'm gonna be able to send you guys all the links. So everybody that's in Patreon, you know, it's automatically you guys in there anyway. So you're gonna get the email, so you'll be able to log in to what you call it, ah, to the Zoom. So I'm gonna send you the Zoom link, and you'll be able to participate. So make sure you get ready before time, because we don't want to waste time. When I get into the ritual, then you know people telling me, oh, they're not ready, they're not ready. Then please be ready before time, so we don't waste about an hour or half an hour just trying to find out who's ready or not. So please get the stuff together before time. So I'm gonna make sure I upload the picture this morning too. So if you want to, some people not too good with directions, so I'm gonna just upload the picture so y'all know this is how the setup gonna need to look like. So therefore, you're gonna adjust yourself based on the picture. So any questions, then try to hit me before time. Then I'm gonna answer you. But let me tell you what you're gonna need. Once again, you need a bucket. You need a metallic bucket, not a plastic bucket, a metallic bucket. You need a rock. The rock, you've been supposed to have that rock for some time now. If it's the first time, you need to go by the beach or you go by the lake. A rock will talk back at you. You will see the rock. A rock will tell you. Will know which one to pick. It's not a little small thing. Get something that have a little size to it. Some that you can grab with two hands, or some you got to put your whole palms into it to grab it up. So you got to. It's not a little small rock. So when you get the rock, you clean it. You're gonna have a connection with the rock, and the rock gonna tell you what to do with it. So you're gonna clean it up. You know, put it on the hot water. You clean the whole thing up, and you place that rock in that metallic bucket. That's what you're gonna need to have. That metallic bucket. You put it in there, and when you come to the ritual, you're gonna bring that. You're gonna need 4 candles. You need 4 red candles. Okay. We're gonna bank on the heat energy. So you need 4 red candles. So when you sit, you're gonna be in the middle. You're gonna put a candle on your front and your back on both sides of you. You know, left and right. You're in the middle of the candles, and then you inside in the bucket. Gonna be in front of you. You're gonna have a candle in the front and behind you and your left and the right, and then you're gonna need Florida water, and you're gonna need Pompeii and stuff like that. So if you can just only get Florida water, get 2 of them, because one might run out too quick. So get 2 little bottles of Florida water. Okay, so we can do the ritual. You need 3 cups of water. You're gonna need 3 cups of water. You're gonna put the cups of water in front of the bucket. And then you sat down almost like you can be in a lotus position, or if you got a little small chair, you you can sit in the small chair while we perform the ritual together. All right, and you need a ring. You need a bell, or you get a cha-cha. So either or. If you got a bell, you can ring the bell, or you get a cha-cha. Either or. So again, Florida water. You can go to a Botanica. You can get it to one of these stores, and you know you can go any. You can even get it in Target. Okay, they have it everywhere. You can't go to a dollar store, even have them too. Or can't go to a convenience store. So if you're in New York, you don't have a problem to find that. Even bodegas, some of them sell it. So that should be a problem. All right. So I'm gonna catch you guys next time. Peace and blessing, everybody. Thank you for the ride. It was an amazing ride dealing with y'all tonight. Okay, we got 8 o'clock, 8 p.m., 8 p.m., 8 o'clock. Okay. All right, so peace, everyone, and also thank you, everybody that sent me some paw. Okay, I have about 27 paw for the night. So y'all was sending the paw on these suckers. So thank you, everybody, and anyone that sent the gifts and the support and the donation of your time. And may the ancestor provide endless possibility for you and good health and protection for your family. And let the ancestor guide you and whisper the proper term, the proper guidance, so you find your way. I know life is not easy, but the point in life is resilience. So all of us, if you find yourself surviving these blows, because life constantly throwing these deadly blows at you, but I guarantee you, if you keep getting these blows, you fall and you got up, I guarantee you, you're gonna win. You're gonna be successful. All right, Cleo, appreciate you. There's no way in life you're not gonna be successful, because the goal of life, the biggest lessons of life is resilience. If you are resilient one way or the other, you will have the time enough. You're gonna have enough lessons that you're going to know and you're going to master, and you're going to apply better solutions. And that solution is going to call success. And that's why I told you resilience, and also listen. Okay. Pay attention to small details. Okay. And question everything. And the rest is history. All right. Thank you, everyone. Peace, and I'm out. Oh, before I leave, beware of scammers. A lot of scammers gonna come after you. They're gonna ask you for donation. It's not me. They're gonna ask you for work. It's not me. Some of them gonna ask you for spiritual work. I don't do that. It's not me. If you want anything from me spiritually, if you want candles, just let me know. I'll send you the link because we have custom made candles for any situation. If you want to get rid of demonic spirit at your house, let me know. I'll send you the link. If you want to attract some positivity, you have some spouse problem, some wife problem, some husband problem, let me know. I'll send you the link for some candles. It's designed for that. If you want to attract prosperity, I have candle that designed for that. If you anything, let me know. I can send you the link that can get you the products that you need. And any as far as mentorship, remember I told you the Creole class, I'm working on that. So for all my brothers and sisters that want to get on that Creole class, I'm coming through soon. I'm putting it together. It's a process, and it's going to be listed under the mentorship. I have a mentorship program. I teach the Creole. I teach spirituality. I teach you about everything you need to know as far as to give you the knowledge to sustain yourself into these journey. I have a tons of class with many class about dream class. I have class about candles. I have class about ancestral class. All of these classes come with a set of rituals. So that's a whole lot. Listen, that's a lot to learn, and that's a whole lot. But this is under the mentorship program. If you want to get the mentorship program, you let me know. If you don't want nothing, then you don't hear nothing from me. Only you decide. So therefore, whoever knock out your door, it's not me. Okay? So peace and bliss. I'm in New York. I'm in New York, big homie. Okay? Toya, I see you. All right, baby. Appreciate you, Toya. Appreciate you for the night. All right? Thank you, everybody. I'm out.